What's going on, everybody? Big Matt Diamondine is in the house. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Guys, we got a lot to talk about today. The Braves have won the East. The Hogs look a little bit sloppy. The Jayhawks take their first L, and the Vols drain the swamp. Bama hangs on in a tight one, and Georgia just taking care of business. Y'all hang around with us, all right? All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. Dave?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man?
We got the best co-host in the business. We got a lot of pretenders, but there's no contenders of what we got going on right here, guys. We're working on almost 3 years straight.
3 years.
It's pretty amazing, ain't it?
3 years December?
Yeah.
December 15th?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, man.
How it got started. And then Matt just come to me and said, you want to do a bowl pick 'em for a friend of ours. It's got an internet radio and that kind of. We played around with it for fun. I mean, we were actually, talking about local communities playing each other just for fun, and we were just doing it. But we were serious too.
Yep.
But it was just for us, and I think we turned it in. Didn't I turn it into a radio station up in Somerville?
Yeah, we tried that.
Never heard back from them, and actually, it's longer than that. 5 years later. We got a real opportunity.
Here we are.
Thank him for that.
Guys, we got so much to talk about tonight. Let's go ahead and get the screen rolling. We've got a lot to do. Local stuff. We got some bracket talk as of today. Now that's not like
This doesn't mean that's who's going.
This is not what's going on. This is just what's going on right now. So anyway, thank everybody for stopping by, and you can find us on subscribe to iHeartRadio. It's a free app, and you can find us on there, Spotify, Applecast, and of course you're seeing us right now on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We appreciate all our followers. It's really grown a lot. And first off, let's say, I guess we'll start Thursday. Made a trip out to Appalachian. Went with Coach O'Brien, rode out there with them, met up with Teddy and some of the coaches, and it was a great game.
I did not expect it to be.
Well, the refs had a little bit of difference in some of the calling, and 2 touchdowns called back for Valley Head, and it is what it is, and anybody on both sides will tell you if you just want to be honest about it. Bain was, as advertised, went for over 280 yards. Robinson's back. He's getting back in the swing. You could tell he's not that 100% guy. Yeah. Not 100% hanging in there. I think he was like at 90 or 100. But a lot of the kids watch our show, and they respond to us. Like after the game, had a lot of kids up there text saying they appreciated me coming by and watching the game. And hey, they won the region with that. That sealed the region for them.
I think Bain nearing 18.
Yes, 1,800
in 7 games. I'll look their stats up here in a minute.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We got a lot to talk about. First off, you catch the scores at the bottom of your screen there. Coosa comes and plays spoiler over at Cedar Bluff for their homecoming. It was a good night and had a lot of good-looking people out there on the field for homecoming. 41-14 was the final on that one.
Well, they were too much. I mean, they've got some athletes.
Yeah.
They run the opening kickoff back.
Yeah.
And
that was
that hurt. Toledo Bryant run it back, and then I think it's 28-0 at halftime, and Cedar Bluff struck, but they were just too much. For Cedar Bluff, Hunter Jenkins come on and had 141 yards of offense, and Caden Pack threw for 143 yards on the night.
Yes.
But Coosa Christian ended up having around 300. Their quarterback was hard to handle the other night. Justice, he throws a good ball. Yeah, good ball.
Yeah, he didn't miss, but he only missed just a few deep passes. And subsiding from that, getting things together and seeing some younger guys play seems it's healthy. for the team for Cedar Bluff
Right.
and for Coosa. They got to play some of their younger guys also. What about Hunter Jenkins coming in late there?
Yeah. Like I said, 74 rush, 73 receiving, and 68 rushing.
Yeah, and
67-yard touchdown, long runs, 20. And he did the 67-yard touchdown, and they had everybody in when he did that. They had their starters.
yeah, it was probably start of the fourth or something like that.
Middle of the third. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was still Coach O'Brien had not pulled anybody. So, Jenkins is going to be good.
Yeah, lots to look forward to. It was senior night for the guys. Hats off to all the seniors. Love all you guys from Austin and Hagan and
Kennard,
and of course Dylan
Bucky, yeah.
and Bucky and Aiden. I know them all really closely. Mm-hmm. Half of them's played for me.
Yeah, Dylan's hung out over here a lot.
He's been around a lot. Been around him since first day he come over. Played a lot of baseball with Bucky and Hagan. Mm-hmm. We've all played a lot of baseball together. Cade played baseball with us some, and I just, it's weird seeing them walk out. And I stayed upstairs after we did our pre-show, and it's just kind of weird, like Alexander Leak, senior. I'm like, God, how's he a senior?
Yeah, they get there fast.
I mean, it's like so it didn't turn out the way they wanted, and that was their last home game. Cedar Bluff will be traveling, not this week. They got the tough
They're
one.
off this week.
They got by.
Yeah, but they've not been getting beat.
I told
They've
Alan,
been winning.
be careful of
Let's
that.
tie everything. I don't know.
They'll go to Appalachian
Yeah,
next week, and that's going to be it's
an improved team.
They're way better. We played them a few years ago. They were not really good, but all those guys are seniors now.
I didn't think they were that bad last year.
Right.
They had most of those guys back.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what you got to realize, guys. In this region of 1A football and in any kind of small school, you have trends.
Right.
And you'll catch a team that's kind of trending down as another one is trending up. And that's the way it had been for a year or two. Cedar Bluff comes in first year, wins the region, and as Valley Head was not there yet, they were climbing.
Right.
And Cedar Bluff had kind of peaked. Well, now this year it's vice versa. Appalachian and Valley Head and them they're peaking.
And sometimes we went 9-3. And Coach Howard would like this. We went 9-3 my senior year. Didn't lose a lot, and then they went 10-3 the next year. Then they went 9-3 again and 10-3. But they had Devlin Clifton, so that kind of trumps all that.
Yeah.
Trumps all that other. You can lose whatever. It don't matter. But there for a long time, my point is, I'm joking about Devlin, but he was great.
Yeah.
They had a lot of returning players every year, right through there. There was no just mass exodus of players.
Yeah.
And once they did, I remember Tyrone Moore and them had a ton of seniors. The year they went 11-1, and that next year was rough. Coach Smith will tell you that next year was rough.
Yeah.
And they didn't do quite as well.
Well, Cherokee County rolls out there and just puts the smack down on Fultondale, 60-0.
Nothing.
Cornejo had like 168 and had a couple of touchdowns. Kai, I think he had close to 100 receiving maybe.
Yeah, had 88 receiving. Hopper, 111 passing. Diamond, 45. He went over 300 on the year. He's getting on up there. Heck, he may get 1,000. Who knows?
And he's not even the premier carrier of the ball yet. And he's
he's
just
defensive for it.
young guy.
Corneo is getting I'm wanting to say he surpassed 900.
Yeah.
With the other 9.
And I'm sure Coach, they didn't want to play them all night. They wanted to sustain there for a little bit and get ready for this week. And as I'm speaking about Cherokee County there, beating Fultondale this week will be a big North region matchup for them. They will be hosting the Traveling Glovers from Etowah.
Etowah playing good ball.
Coach Roach from Cass will be calling. He does the offense. And if you Georgia guys or people keep up Georgia football, Cass is a substantial football program over in Georgia. Coaches do a good job. It's going to be a battle of coaches.
Oh, yeah.
I think the kids match up pretty close. It's going to be a chess match.
I think that it is. I think the matchup's a little even. I don't know. I know that Center had Aniana on the ropes, 14-3 going into that quarter, and wasn't able to close out for whatever reason. They didn't win that game, and they gave up one late.
Yes,
With a minute left.
the fluff got loose late, or they had the game won.
But I know a lot of people that watched that game felt like Center was in control of that game, and obviously Etowah controlled Aniana too, right?
Yes.
31-7.
Yes. Yeah. And the next game, Sandrock fighting Heath out there. They've had a tough couple of weeks. He's got some injuries. We talked about that Friday night on the pregame show. 70-14.
Yeah,
I mean,
hard to deal
yeah,
with.
it is what it is. I think they're over and far and against is like 370 something to 50 something.
It's 373 to 39.
Yeah, and
They're winning by an average of, guys, I'm serious, it's like 48 a game.
what did Ace have the other night?
He had 144 passing,
144.
and that was pretty. They ended up having 300 yards, and he had
Yeah.
most of them. He had 144, so that's going to put him. He's getting near and close to 800. He's only played in 4 ball games.
Yeah, and that's dealing with injury there. With Ace goes out early, Carson steps in, and then he goes out. Now Ace has to come back in.
And that, who is their backup now? It's not Carson, is it? He threw for 122 yards.
yeah.
Whoever they're, I bet that's his brother. I bet
Ace, his little brother.
He threw for 122 yards. Guys, let me tell you,
No, he's good.
this kid's coming.
The junior high football team at Sandrock.
His last name's Ashley. I cannot think of his first name. If anybody wants to comment,
Is it Alex or Alec or?
It
I
may
know
be
it.
Alec Ashley.
Yeah,
He's real deal.
yeah. I think them and Cedar Bluff
I'm
were.
not saying Ace isn't, but this guy, even Ace will tell you, this cat's good.
Yeah, he said he's more competitive than he in
Yeah.
some kind of way.
And he's got a receiver, a trapping stab.
Yeah,
They're good.
they're that whole junior high team. I think they're undefeated as they finish the year.
I
The junior
can't
high.
see another-
I think the only game that I think them and Cedar Bluff battled for like 1-2 in the county.
I can't see a junior high unless Mater D or Mater Day brings their junior high down here.
Coach Howard, they travel to Pleasant Valley.
Yeah, 28-14.
Now they dropped down to
Stats on them.
2A, as Spring Garden was 2A, Pleasant Valley was 3. So they follow each other in sequence. Now Spring Garden's back 1, Pleasant Valley's 2.
Right.
So they travel across the highway up there, go up that way and play. And the field's like in the side of a mountain up
Not
there.
too far of a trip, really.
Not really. 28-14 was the final. Coach Howard, we got some stuff on brackets for them and how that's going to lace out.
Okay. Matt,
But Cam and the Welch boys had a great night.
Cam, 81 receiving, 78 rushing, 7 tackles, 3 TDs, a sack, 4 PATs. It's a pretty good stat line. Bates, 66 yards rushing, 9 tackles. Pope, 81 passing, 49 rush. John Welsh, 8 tackles and a sack.
Wow, that's like they got after it. Yeah, Spring Garden's on a mission right now, and they seem to always, Dean, we've been doing this for our 3rd season, and Luke Welch was our player of the year, and then Coop was the player of the year, and we try to spread it around all schools. Every school gets 2, maybe 3 players of the week, just depending on how it kind of lays out. But it seems like over those years, they'll get to peaking about October. You notice that?
Yeah, get better and better.
That's
right.
And that's what a coach, you want to kind of ramp up.
Yes.
And try to make a run,
I've not seen them fall off any
No.
late.
Fife looked really good Friday against Sandrock, Aaron said. Yep.
Oh, yeah, I think Fife's going to look good against.
Nico said the junior high, Collinsville junior high beat Sandrock. Okay, thank you.
God.
Thank you, Nico. Yeah, you know who their junior high is.
Their varsity?
Yeah, I mean, their quarterback, Nico, and they're great.
I don't know. Fife.
The board, they 8th graders, the tailback.
Oh,
and,
my gosh.
I mean, so, yeah.
Aaron Fife might look good against Jack State. I don't know.
Yeah.
53 points a game. They're winning by an average of 48. It's ridiculous.
Just somebody, late in this, and we're fixing to get into that right now. So thank you guys for stopping by, and we appreciate everybody that sponsors us and hangs out with us. We're going to talk about some bracket stuff now, Dean, and we'll get into that. We're going to do our player of the week. We haven't forgot. Dean, we'll start with 1A.
All right.
Now, everybody's interested. If this is the part of the show, you probably want to go ahead and go get you some popcorn. Go get your Coke there and pull your phone up or your laptop or your TV. Flip us on the TV. You can take that little mirror mode, bam, hit it, put us on the TV. It's really easy. It's real fun. And we thank y'all for stopping by and hanging out with us, the best darn sports duo anywhere going. From Arkansas to South Carolina to Ohio. I got people I talk to
Scotia.
all the time.
Didn't you say we had more than that?
Yes,
No,
was,
no.
I had one,
Iceland.
I had one listener, and I don't know how that ping up. I don't know. I guess somebody stumbled by it on YouTube or something.
I don't know that they would be real interested. I don't think a lot of football goes on.
I
there,
wouldn't
but
think
who
so.
knows?
I don't know. They may just watch it. I think some of that is, and we'll move on, is military people.
Could be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I had like 6 one time in South Africa.
Yeah. So you don't think it's necessarily somebody from Iceland?
No. 1A, 1A Region 5.
Some Icelandic person just sitting up watching her show.
1, 2, 3, 4. We're just going to do the first 4. That's how playoffs. Now, this is right now. This is not how it's going to happen.
Yes. If the playoffs started today.
Yes. Now, some of these teams are locked in that are going to the playoffs, but there's a little bit more to do because this weekend's really going to play a big role into it, especially, I think, 2A Region 6, 7 or so. Really got some more games. So, 1A Region 5, which consists of Lynn, Pickens, Marion County, and South Lamar. And Region 6 is Raglan, Spring Garden, Wadley, and Donahoe. Region 7 is Valley Head. They're locked. They have a Y by them. That means they're going to the playoffs. Appalachian 2, Coosa Christian 3, and Galesville at 4. Galesville hung in there at that 4 spot because they're idle. Now, Galesville plays Decatur this weekend.
Right.
And with Cedar Bluff already losing to Decatur, Galesville will have to beat Decatur, and Cedar Bluff will have to beat Appalachian.
Right.
Okay?
For either one of them to have a
Yes.
chance.
And then they would do head-to-head, and Cedar Bluff won head-to-head with Galesville. So, saying that, Galesville's biggest fans should be Cedar Bluff. They need to hope that Coach Knapp can put in that new offense, because I've seen a few new – boy, he's really done a good job. We hope that Galesville wins. That's what they're hoping, and that'll give a shot for Cedar Bluff to make it.
Right.
So that's kind of how that's going to work as of right now. Region 8, Meek is 1, Addison 2, Phillips of Bear Creek, which in 2 weeks, Coosa Christian will play.
Phillips.
Yes. O'Brien had them scheduled. He got them late for a late game. Just in his fruition.
That's in week 10 or
Yeah,
whatever.
it shows. So, as of right now, for a matchup-wise, 5 will play 6. All right, the first 2 will be at home. So that means Lynn, guys, will be 1 and 2. Lynn, number 1, 5, will play number 4, 6. So today, Lynn would host Donahoe, and Pickens would host Wadley. And Raglan would host South Lamar, and Spring Garden would host Marion County.
So, well, hold a minute. Raglan is in the same region with Wadley and Spring Garden?
Yeah, they're 1 right now.
It's a good region.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
But now Raglan hasn't played Spring Garden or Wadley.
right. But that's so far for who's going to be at home and away. Now 7 and 8, Valley Head, Cedar Bluff, Galesville people. Valley Head being 1, they would host the number 4 and 8. So they would host Shoals Christian. Appalachian would host Phillips Bear Creek. Meek would host Galesville. And Addison would host Coosa. Now that's, as of right now, that's how that would shake
It
out.
started today.
And some of these teams are going to move around because we're still going to have some wins.
There's still 2 weeks region play.
Yeah, and there's some real good ones this weekend. Now 2A regions 5, 6, 7, 8. Region 5, 1 is Aliceville, then Tuscaloosa Academy, Lamar County, and Sulligett. 2A. And then Region 6 is Southeastern, West End, Cleveland, and Locust Fort. Now, Southeastern, West End, and Cleveland are all already locked in for the playoffs, considered by AFSHSS.org.
They're already
This is where you go, type it in on your phone, AFSH. It's hard. AFSHAHS.org.
We're just going to have so you can say it. We're going to have a contest.
I shared it last Monday on Bo.
AFSH.
No, it's AFS. AHS.
Golly, that's hard to say.
It's AFSAHS.org.
No, you say that 16 times. Right, Bubby Buckers.
I can't do it. Right now, so 5 would play. Aliceville would host Locust Fort, and Tuscaloosa Academy would host Cleveland. Southeastern would host Sulligett, and West End would host Lamar County. That'd be for you 2A for that 5 and 6, those brackets. All right, now 7 and 8, Region 7 and 8. Of course, 5. They're in. They're going to playoffs. Pisgah is also locked in at number 2. This is Region 7. Collinsville is at 3. Teddy and company and Ernie. And North Stand's going to be at 4. Region 8, Lexington, Hatton, Faulkville, Red Bay. We have played Red Bay. I'm familiar with them.
A lot better than that one. That's just my opinion.
All right, 5 would host Red Bay. So Red Bay wouldn't have the refs at home because you're not going to get a call at home. And Pisgah would host Faulkville. Lexington would host North Sand Mountain. And Hatton would host Collinsville. Collinsville Panthers would travel to Hatton if the playoffs were right now.
Right.
We're still kind of
up in there.
It's a little
North
foggy.
Sand Mountain and Collinsville haven't played yet, have they? Yeah, they did. They did.
It's a little foggy. We can see, sort of, but okay. And we just got 2 more here, and then we'll move on into some other stuff here. 3A, Region 5 and 6. These have to do with Piedmont and whatnot around here. Region 5 is Gordo, Oakman, Fayette County, and Winfield. 6, Piedmont, they're locked in, as well as Gordo is. Geraldine at 2, right behind Piedmont. Hope's Bluff at 3, Coach Sexton and Bunch. And then Sylvania at 4. So, Gordo would host Sylvania, and Oakman would host Hoax Bluff. Hoax Bluff would have to go to Oakman. Piedmont would host Winfield, which they played last year.
Yeah, they beat them pretty good.
They would host them again. And then Geraldine would host Fayette County. Those would be great football games.
Geraldine and Fayette County would be. I saw Fayette County was on TV the other night.
Yeah.
They played Gordo. They did not win.
Yeah.
35-0. But it was not a bad game.
That locked in Gordo for they're definitely going to playoffs. They got a Y as well as Piedmont has the Y.
They've got a good football team.
Like Valley Head has an X, as in they've clinched it, and that Southeastern team, that 2A Region 6 Southeastern, has locked in their area championship there.
I would not want to run up on Gordo, personally.
No. Now, 4A. This is for Cherokee County people. If you are listening, pay attention. Zach, what's up, Hot Wheels? Region 5, 4A. Northside, Corner, Haleyville, and Dora. All those names are pretty familiar. We hear them a lot. You watch John Holder and keep up with all his stuff. And I remember back in the day, Pigskin Roundup, when he did it, I remember Dora going to playoffs all the time.
Right.
Region 6, Etowah 1. They are Y. They're locked. They're going to playoffs. Cherokee County 2, Oneonta 3, and Good Hope 4. Now, I know it sounds weird. Well, how is Cherokee County above Oneonta?
Yeah,
well, because Etowah beat them.
Etowah beat them.
Beat Oneonta.
Pretty good, yeah.
So now that means if it was to happen this week, which it's not, because number 1 and number 2 in 4A Region 6 is going to lock up Friday night at Coach Johnson Field, Warrior Stadium.
Right. So that'll change.
Where our man Keith Talbert calling the game.
Keith Talbert.
Etowah would host Dora. Center would host Haleyville. Northside would host Good Hope. And Corner, they call him Corner. Corner would host Oneonta. Any of those would be great games.
I think that region has a good chance to run the table.
6 with Etowah in them in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of Northside. I've heard of Corner. I've never known of them being good. Haleyville was 1 year, and Hoax Bluff was 4, and Hoax Bluff beat them. And Dora, Dora's.
I know the name.
Yeah.
You see it mentioned. Now, also, some other coaches have told me that this 1A Region 8, I looked at their records, and they say, which is who's they, that this Region 8 is not real good.
I've heard. Who is it again?
Meek, Addison, Phillips, and Shoals Christian.
Yes, I would buy that.
They said, well, they're not really a good region. So how this 7-8 matches up, Valley Head, Appalachian, Coosa, and Galesville.
Right. Not possible that they could run that.
If Galesville and Cedar Bluff both win, then Cedar Bluff will be that 4. Cedar Bluff will have to travel because Meek's going to stay 1. I think they're locked for playoffs. So if Cedar Bluff beats Appalachian and Galesville beats Decatur, Cedar Bluff has to travel to Meek. And Meek is... Go up like you're going to Wallace State, up Hansville, and just go take a left out there on 41 or 141. It's about 30 minutes west.
Yes, it's close to Coleman, right?
Yes, it's 30 minutes west of Hansville, where Marcus is at school at. So it's about a 2 hour drive. So to come in that
Well,
last
I've never
spot.
been there. They came and played against us.
Yep, I remember that. I remember
Our
having
last
the
game ever.
Yeah, I remember wearing the ribbons. Your mom would, you know, we
Second
all have
round.
them.
Whoever won that got to play Cortland, so the loser was actually the winner.
Yeah, so you're just gonna get drawn 50-0.
We got beat 1 point, and I never was real upset about it because they just had to. Them poor guys had to go play.
And I remember they lost.
Said they played them good for a quarter.
Yeah,
But then you just.
it's like 63-13.
Yeah.
Like it was, you know.
Everybody else was playing for second.
Yeah, yeah. Like in this 1A South region, Sweetwater and was it Linden?
Linden.
Ain't nobody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We just don't. We can't win a darn 1A North.
No, I mean they've got so much more team speed. It's just unreal, and that's what wins football games, guys.
Yep,
team speed.
Up front and team speed. If you got the lineman, you got speed. That's a winner.
I know the
dinner.
game's won up front, but team speed makes. I know a lot of people would argue and say no, it's one up front. Yes, but team speed.
It can make up for some attrition at line. If the line's not real good, well, he can bounce it though. And he just keeps turning it, and curving it, and he'll just bend
Like
it and
Pooh
keep.
Bear.
Yeah, and just keep running.
We coached him all week. You cannot. You got to see it. You got to see it. You can't come in 1 yard. The kid came in 1 yard. Pooh Bear bounces out 92 yards. That's a true story.
Yes, I remember. Well, so these 2A,
But I like, boy, that's a tough
3A.
region to match up with people.
Gordo, Oakman, Fayette County, Winfield. Yeah, Piedmont would play Winfield again. Geraldine
That's a
would
good,
host
those
Fayette
are good
County.
matchups.
and Oakman would host Oaks Bluff.
I'm going to say these other regions are bad. I just know
Gordo.
about their history.
Gordo would have Sylvania.
Sylvania, good football team.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like right now. And thank y'all for coming by and shooting the breeze with us on this. And I'll do this again next week. This is the stuff I really like doing. I like
Yeah, he loves that.
I like getting the brackets down and getting the boxes and who's playing where. And so it'll be all new next week. Well, I'll literally take this paper. I might as well take it right now. It's worthless.
It really
'Cause it's just
but it's fun to do.
It is fun. I like doing it, and I spent.
And some of those will stay that way.
Yes, some of them are locks.
Some of them will.
They're locks, like Southeastern, Valley Head, some Piedmont.
The order will mix up a
Yeah.
little. And now some of the teams he had in there will not make it.
No, right, yep. And
But,
some you may not. If it's not in there now, could get in, but it's going to depend on how this team wins and how that
Let's
team
remember
loses.
that. I mean, don't go home and say Matt and Todd show said we's in.
Yeah, no.
You know, that's just if they started this week.
Yes.
So it's interesting. It's interesting. It's fun to do.
That's the 4A stuff. Now I'm going to talk about who they're playing this week.
All right.
Now 4A, let's see.
Oh, Matt, one thing right quick. This is just,
Yeah.
it has been. Piedmont beat.
Oh yeah, let's
just
do some other
lower
scores. Yeah, go ahead.
Ohatchee upset Hoax Bluff.
Yeah, that was pretty.
I wasn't
I think
expecting
they
that.
would win, but I didn't know it would be by a score that size.
Yeah, right. I didn't either. Piedmont beat Glencoe 45-10.
Yeah.
Collinsville beat Outer 41-12, and two other locals. Kansas City won their
They
region.
did win, Rich. Congrats, Coach Ali.
Won 53-0 over May Jemison, and Fort Payne beat Hazel Green 46-14.
Yeah.
And Fort Payne will be playing center week 10.
Yes. That'd be at Fort Payne.
And Collinsville will be playing Valley Head week 10.
That'd be a good game.
I want to see.
Now, that's not for any kinda-
week 10.
Geraldine.
Huh? I thought they'd already played Geraldine.
No, the Fort.
Somebody just texted me Pooh Bear
the fourth-
question mark.
It's on the 14th.
What do I say about Pooh Bear? Football star.
They play on the 14th.
Oh, okay.
That'll be the next. Now this week they just
I
played.
got you. I thought they'd already played them.
That'll be a good game because, dude, I just went. I mean, they're 1-2.
I get all that stuff mixed up.
They're 1-2.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
Yeah, it will
that
be.
Geraldine Piedmont game, and also Bailey and James coach against each
Yeah,
other.
they did coach against
How
each
about
other.
that? I think that's
They did coach.
pretty
against
cool,
each
ain't it?
other. I'm looking up.
Fife will play at Pisgah this week on the 14th, and Cedar Bluff, like we said, will be idle. And I'm going to talk about
Dang,
these
somebody's got to stop them.
during by. I'll start from the top. 4A.
And off.
Let's see.
All right.
For far as playoff stuff, and then we'll get into who they're going to play next week. If the playoff stuff we just went over, I said that Sterling County would host Haleyville, right?
Yes.
All right, Haleyville is 4-1 in that region. They lost to Rogers, Winfield, and Dora. They lost to Winfield 28-19 and Dora 21-12. So if this thing lines up, but if Center beats Etowah, they'll move to 1. So they'll still host, but they'll host the 4 and not the 3. So, but that's kind of that. The next region game for Haleyville is going to be Hamilton. The 3A, Piedmont would host Winfield. They lost to Gordo 49-42.
Wow, and Gordo's good.
And they got they got regular season game left. Fayette County next. In 2A, Hatton, the team they have lost to Faultville, and they got Lexington next. They're 3-1 in that region. They lost to Faultville 21-6. Now that 1A for Spring Garden, if they was to host Marion County, well, how's Marion County doing, Todd? They're 4-1 in the region. They lost to Lynn. Well, we just mentioned them, 31-14. Lynn's good, guys.
Oh yeah.
And they lost to Fayette County 59-28. Their next region game will be South Lamar.
Who's had some good teams
traditionally
over the year. We put Cedar Bluff out in the second round. Good game.
Was that Marcus's last? Yeah, his senior year. So it was
Marcus's sophomore year.
Yeah.
Remember they were on the 1?
Yes. Zay run the Wildcat time or two. Yeah. Who did we play his last year?
Oh, that was Hubble.
Yeah, and they went on and won the next round. Went to third round, lost to Pickens County.
Yeah. And didn't even lose to them bad.
They were better. Why not?
They were good, and they had 2 guys touch the ball all night, and 2 guys pretty much touched the ball that whole year for them. You can go look at their stats.
They run those.
Just them 2.
They killed those speed sweeps guys. Their
quarterback was very good.
That
was a great game.
They played hard. I think the boys. I thought they played pretty admirably. They let it get away from them early, and a few play calling differences here or there. I think we may have made a different thing at it, but it is what it is.
It's like 44-37.
Yeah,
it was a great game.
Yeah.
One, if you had to be your last, you don't mind that being your last.
Yeah, it wasn't 50-0 for Cortland like mine was or something.
You don't want to be that. You don't want that to be your last.
Jeez.
Hey, what happened in your last football game? 28-27. What about you? 76-3. You don't want to be a part of that.
If any Cedar Bluff peeps are watching, let's go support Gainesville Friday. Yeah, Cedar Bluff's off. That's a good idea, Sam Cannon. That's Dylan's dad over here at Cedar Bluff, Sam. I had a good conversation with him Friday night, and maybe talked to Dylan, and Corey was around. Maybe Lindsey Wilson may be in the future for Dylan. That could be. His recruiter is
Holt Keeling from Southside. We saw him play football. He played linebacker. I'm assuming that's it. That's got to be it. If he recruits this area, coaches linebacker.
He played with Alaric.
He played with Alaric at
which is the offensive
Southside.
coach at Coosa.
They were the running backs. Imagine
trying to stop them.
God, I don't know. I'll have to ask Alaric. I think they did better the year before, but they had a lot to go with them. But the game we went and watched, Keeling run at one play, Alaric run at the other. It was pretty much them two.
They were so fun. Alaric was.
But Fort Payne, Southside won that game, but it was a good game.
He still looks like he could play.
Mm-hmm. I would think so.
He could take the rock right now and take it for 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old Keeling. Yes, I'm sure that.
So that would be a good idea, Dean.
Sam, you need the guy's number. When friends with Alaric, I'm sure we could.
Yeah, Corey's going to hook him up with that too.
Yeah. And I'm sure Coach Beckett has definitely got his name out there.
That would be a good idea for them to be able to go there and
it's a great
support Gainesville. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying?
Well, Cortez Henderson went up there too and was playing.
Because, like I just said, hey, who should be the number one fan of Gainesville this week? Cedar Bluff better hope that Gainesville, that Knapp puts a plan together and beats Decatur. And for what I seen over there last Tuesday, boy, I sure do like him plays. Man, boy, Now we'll be covering Cherokee County game at a wall for that's the big 4A number 1 and 2 regional game. If Gainesville pulls that off, and Cedar Bluff goes to Appalachian and beats them and the refs. And if I got somebody watching from up there, I apologize, but it is what it is. I've seen it 3 times in 3 games, and it's never friendly. It's never right. And if grown men are taking away a game for kids because of whatever reason, and it has nothing to do with the coach. Now, I'm not knocking against any coaches.
No.
Coach Booger, he's I've talked to him before.
See, I haven't been to a game there in years.
It's just, and it's not. It ain't like the coach is doing it. Like hey, make sure we get a call. It's just not good. But reffing's not been good anywhere in years because they don't have any. That's why we're playing Thursday night games because there's not enough
A
refs.
lot of Thursday
So I need to
night
shut up complaining about it because
games. Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that if there's something to be done, then you just need to shut up and go do it. And I'm not going to be a ref.
Right. No.
So I don't need to complain about it. And I just need to move on. So they need to hope that Gelsel can win. And, it is what it is. But the most fun part of the show is fixing to happen right now in about 3 seconds, Dean.
What's that?
The big Diamond Player of the Week.
Oh, okay. Diamond Player of the Week.
Yeah, this week it went around topsy-turvy, and we have teams that lost, and we had a team that was off, and, it is what it is. So this week, Dean, who we got?
Well, first of all, let me tell you stats. Had 159 yards of offense and 7 tackles, 1 behind the line, 3 TDs, and he kicked 4 PATs. His player of the week is Cameron Welsh.
Congratulations, Cam.
Cam, they call him Cam.
He's a baller.
Yeah.
Basketball, baseball, football. He just gives it all he's got. The videos I've made over there, highlight videos of them playing. Mm-hmm. I've seen it. Me and his dad actually talked about it before the game.
Yeah.
How he bends his plate and he gets out around the end, and I was like, well, if he would just keep running, just boogie down, he was gone. But if somebody tries to tackle him over there, he's not going to just stop.
I like
he
him.
waits for you to try to hit him.
Yeah, I like him on defense. Now, he can hit hard.
Yes. He was the reason for the deal at Cleveland. You tell us the story from Coach Ragsdale. Had you stopped the quarterback at Cleveland, he was great. They won state.
Oh, yeah, and Pope.
Yeah, it was Chaz and Cam and them. He rocked him.
Yeah.
Chaz just took care of business. And Cam and all them and Cooper, that was a great team.
Yeah, because we watched Cleveland and we're like,
who's that quarterback?
How in the world we didn't say how in the world did Spring Garden beat them. We said they scored 42 in the state championship. And he can tell you their quarterback did whatever he wanted to.
Yeah.
Washburn, 400 yards in the state championship game.
Yeah.
Best player I saw all year.
Yeah, just uncanny good. And Spring Garden coach Ragsdale and Chaz and
they just put him out.
Yeah.
Or somebody had hit him. I think
Chaz hit him. Yeah, it hurt him.
But he had gotten hit all night. And Cam's been a big part of that defense for quite a while.
And he's just carrying on that tradition, what they do over there. Mm-hmm. And after seeing the game over there, was it TCC? Mm-hmm. He puts in the second team, starting the second quarter, junior high. They're good.
Oh, yeah.
JB, Satterfield kid, and all them. Mm-hmm. Quarterback?
Sadler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So congratulations, Cam. He's our player of the week, and we look forward to them going on into next week. And next week they will be they're at home. They're playing Donahoe.
When does their Raglan game? That'll be a big one. Here, I'm going to look on here.
I got their schedule here.
You got their schedule.
The week after, the 21st.
Wow.
So they got Donahoe at home, then they're going to go to Raglan.
I did not realize Raglan was in their region.
Yeah, that's going to be a big game. This week, again, Gales will be hosting Decatur Heritage. Talk a little bit about that. Piedmont has
Geraldine.
Yeah, Geraldine.
Big game.
Yeah, and then they'll have Hoax Bluff, then they'll be at Sylacauga.
That's their week 10 game, right? Sylacauga.
And Gadsden City will be hosting Lee Huntsville. That will, of course, be at Cherokee County. Coosa Christian, the Fighting O'Briens, will be playing Appalachian. It's going to be an important game.
It's a very good game. Where's it at?
It's at Coosa. That'd be good. If y'all
big game.
Yeah, if y'all around here and you want to go see a good game that has to do with your area around here.
Well, Appalachian's playing good ball. Right?
They are. Make a drive down there to Gadsden and see Coach O'Brien and tell him we sent you. They're going to play Appalachian. They're going to come down off the mountain after losing the region championship pretty much to Valley Head.
Man, I was surprised that score was that. I just thought Valley Head's pretty much handled everybody easily.
Yeah, well, they had 2 touchdowns called back.
Coosa. So I didn't expect that game to be close, really. I think Appalachian's a little better than I'm giving them credit.
Had some to overcome adversity, but yes, they did, Coach Nance. Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I got to come and see Ian and the guys. I talked to some of the parents. Mr. Robinson, his talked to his stepdad and one of the news guys from out there. It's pretty interesting. And he said, hey, you know, what you're doing is good for the area, and don't let nobody tell you that what you're doing is not important, even if it's people at AHSAA that don't think that it's as important. And some people think that what they do is a little better than what we do. They think they're a little smarter, or they may have a degree in whatever it is. Just keep doing what y'all are doing because it highlights the kids. And our show, we're a little more connected with the kids.
Yeah, we are.
A little more, yeah, that's more. It's not just, just coaches, and that's what we enjoy doing.
Man, I'm looking at Valley Head stats.
Cherokee County, Etowah, and Sandrock has got Mr. Taylor Dalton's fun-filled team of Eider. Eider will be, Sandrock will be at Eider.
Robinson's got 901.
Yeah, I knew you had to be close to 1,000.
And Bain's got 1812.
1812.
So it's still averaging 439 a game.
Finishing out regular season, Sandrock will finish with Whitesburg at home their last game, but they'll be at Eider. So Sandrock Wildcats have a safe trip up to Eider. That'll be a good game. If he can get some more guys healthy and get them in there playing, I like their chances to win that game. Gadsden City at Lee Huntsville, not much about Lee Huntsville. And Geraldine Piedmont game, holy macaroni. Well, this was a great game last year.
It was. I think, I don't know. I think Geraldine, they run the ball. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Piedmont, we know what they're better at.
Yeah.
And I think it could be a good game. I do. Where's it at?
Which one?
Geraldine and Piedmont.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Ooh, I got something in my eye.
This at home, Piedmont. It's Piedmont's homecoming.
Oh.
What a homecoming game.
Yeah. Somebody was saying the other night that, what happened to playing cupcakes on homecoming? Well, you can't when you got a 7-18 region.
Well, yeah, that's just how it is.
You just can't. Because you got 1, 5, and 10. Nobody wants to have their homecoming early. That's your only out of region games. And you can't tell when you have your homecoming. Week 7, week 8.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. Try to be.
So you really can't you cannot decide who you're going to play for homecoming. You may have to play 5 for homecoming. And the coaches over there going, I dare them to schedule us for homecoming, but you can't even help it.
Hey, Aaron, what's up? Holly Molly Wright says they're beating Etowah Friday night. Guaranteed win. It's going to be a great game, and that's be our game of the week, and we'll be out there. Aaron, what's up? We've just been covering the brackets and stuff. You can go back and pick it up anywhere. Go back and watch Rewind. Sandrock and Eider is going to lock up at Eider. 5 will be at Pisgah. That'd be a good game.
5 at Pisgah?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not picking Pisgah to upset, but it'll be a good game. And then 5 will finish with Eider, and then the Battle of Skirham Creek.
I've been pretty outspoken about I don't think nobody around here.
No, it'll be one of these teams
maybe
I
Center,
give. And
Etowah. That's the only people who can play with them.
Some of those South teams, it's going to be like an Elba Ride or something like that. It's the only chance.
Nobody. I don't know what they've got going on up there, but it's unstoppable.
This is the UFOs. Me and Teddy talked about it. Teddy said it's the UFOs too. He agreed.
He's from there, right?
He played there, yeah. And I'm just kidding about the UFOs.
Well,
somebody will think I'm not, but there's a story.
There's a story there, but there wasn't for real.
The Fighting Beckett's will be off this week, fighting Idle. They'll come back, guys. They're going to have to go to Appalachian. They're going to have to win that game.
Tough game, and it will be a good game.
And Donahoe, they'll play
situation
at Donahoe last, and we hope that Spring Garden and the battling Howards can go over there and soften up Donahoe, because that'd be a good idea. They're going to host Donahoe, so Friday night. Good luck to the Panthers over there hosting Donahoe. It's going to be a good game. It's not there. The next week will be Raglan,
that'll be a
region game for them. Do they have to win it? He's not planning on losing it. I'll just say that.
I think they have to win it to stay at home.
Yes.
To stay at home in that first round.
Because if they lost, that would probably put them 3 or 4. because they did lose to Wadley.
They lost to Wadley. Yeah, they'll have to win that.
So
they don't have to win it to go to the playoffs, but they have to win it to get a good draw.
Which the coaches wants to be at home.
Yeah. You
don't want to travel. First round, you don't want to travel. Because you're going usually, if you're traveling, you're a 3 or 4, so you're traveling to a 1 or 2.
Yeah, there's not many teams.
Who wants to play number 1 in the region at home?
Right.
Nobody. You don't want to play some number 1 team at home.
There's not many schools that have had the luxury of it not mattering where they played.
What's up, Bun? Yes, sir, it is. Big game in Center Friday night. We've been talking about that. Coach Roach run offense over at Cass. Coach over in Georgia. You know about Cass High School. Todd's familiar with them. I know a little bit. And Coach Glover don't need any kind of introduction. Bo calls him the real Matty Ice. He calls me that sometimes too, but I think Coach Glover's the real Matty Ice.
Matt Glover.
He's a defensive, knowledgeable guy, and him and Coach Kelly are going to just be – it's going to be like Charles Xavier and Magneto. For any of you younger people watching, you're probably laughing right now a little bit, or people that watch the Marvel stuff. That I like it too. I mean, we're talking about two minds out there, like, bending the players around. Like, you're going to see wavelengths coming across the field. There's two good-minded coaches. Coach Kelly's younger, a little bit younger, but Glover has a lot of experience here in the state.
Glover's been coaching a long time. He coached at center before.
Clark, him and Clark and Coach O'Brien, they was all together.
I think he coached with Curry.
They were all locked up together. These
I
guys.
don't know about when he coached with O'Brien.
Yeah.
I'm looking to see our Georgia stuff.
Reagan the Spring Garden will be a big game, Coach Bunn. Yes, it will. They got Donahoe this weekend over there. Where are you going? Bunn's coming to center. I think he told me the other day. He's coming to center again.
Bunn, I noticed that Cedartown's still number 1 in the state. Got Harlem Diamond. What you think about Harlem Diamond?
Sound like a good player.
Yeah, he is. I know Tony Mathis, that me and Matt saw play, is West Virginia's running back.
Really good. Wow.
And then Colby Pryor's one of Clemson's running back. He's hurt, though. But I wanted to give a shout-out to Sean Lester from Chattooga. Got a scholarship to Southern Illinois. Came in the game yesterday for the first time and had 17 carries for 81 yards. And that's pretty big.
How's Chattooga? I know they're weak. Do y'all start a week before us on playoffs, or is it the after?
No, it's the same for everything.
It is the same now? Because I remember at times it was...
Oh, like a week after? Yeah. I think it's dead on now.
So how's... we need to get Benton. We need to get him call in. We need to get him video in with us.
Yeah.
Break down some Georgia.
They're 1-6, but they're young. I mean, I think that they... Well, go on and talk about that, and I'll tell you.
Yeah. As far as... the matchups around here and there, we will be at Cherokee County game, and good luck to Sandrock and everybody. They're going to be traveling. They're going to go up the mountain to Eider. Be a nice trip, and for them to get ready to finish up their regular season. Mm-hmm. And Coach Seats dealt with injuries and all kind of crap. Had this quarterback in, he's hurt. That one's out. And then the next one's out. So go up there and win, guys. Just go up there and win the darn game. Go up there and beat Eider and. Now, they're not going to give it to you because Eider's they're tough football team. So, we're going to break out of this.
I was going to give you this one stat on Chattooga football. Benton, if you're watching, you can back this up. Okay.
We'll get out here and do our break. And
let me get this on the tackles. All right. Out of their top 25 tacklers. Well, is that 25? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I should have did this before. 13, 15, 16, 19, 21, 23. All right, 25. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You want to do it during the break and we'll come back?
No, it won't take but a second. 17. All right, 17 of Chattooga's top 25 tacklers this year are back. So if people are wondering why they're 1-6.
Yeah.
Their future's bright.
Yeah. They'll be all right.
Yeah, I mean, you got everybody on the team coming back.
We'll get some Georgia info. So, guys, hang around, and we're fixing to do college, and holy moly macaroni. If you want college football, this is definitely the show that you want to be listening to. So, hang around, and we'll be right back. and we'll get to talking about some during college football. Hang on, we'll be right back. Hang on. All right, guys, we kind of back here. We got a lot to talk about. Arkansas, they didn't play a real good game. Dean's coming in here. Jack, have a seat there. We ain't on camera. I'm just talking. Vols drained the swamp 40-13. Dean, the darn Jayhawks. They had such a good run.
Hey, they're good. They're for real.
I was kind of hoping. I was kind of hoping they would pull it off.
I wasn't. We saw it together, and you were, and I don't know why I wasn't, but I just wasn't. But they're for real. Would you not agree?
Oh yeah.
I mean, TCU's for real. Everybody agrees with that, right?
Yeah. Remember, guys, hit that darn subscribe button. Come on over here and check out some college football with us. Logan Brooks, how you doing, my man? Crimson Tide, and my people's best friend, Clyde. Chickens have been Kentucky fried. It don't matter. The Vols by
25?
50.
Who said? Look, he's kidding.
I know.
We joke around a lot. I told him Alabama.
Saturday could be an SEC championship preview in Knoxville. Bun, I don't think you are terribly wrong about that. I don't. They have to beat Georgia. Tennessee would. So.
And they may.
Appreciate everybody for stopping by.
They may.
And let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We'll take a 10-second, about 30. We want to appreciate Mobley Construction, always Jerry and the bunch over there. CNC Equipment and Rentals. Go by there and get all your equipment needs and parts. And they got all kind of stuff up here in Leesburg and in Fort Payne. And, of course, hey, Scott Lloyd. Scott's been hanging out with us forever. Go over and see him in town. Any kind of law needs. Warrior Gym. John just added a new power rack yesterday. Got a new bar. It's awesome. Corey Colbert. Corey's been a big part of our show. We definitely do appreciate him. Jared and April McKenzie. Guys, they sponsored our game this week. Without them, none of these things are possible at all, Dean. I mean, we got a good group of sponsors. And
yes.
Everybody should, fans If you need any of those things, those are the places you should go and tell them that we sent you. First out of the gate, Georgia takes care of business. What'd you think about the Georgia and Auburn? What kind of move in it first, I guess, because it was a blowout game. But Auburn played on
second half.
admirably the first quarter.
They did. When I kept looking at the stats, I was at a birthday party, and Bennett had thrown for 25 yards forever. That's it. And but they opened up the floodgates in the second half. He did not throw a touchdown again. Mm-hmm. And Tank just cannot get going. He had 10 carries for 19 yards.
I seen that.
I know he's showing a lot of frustration, I'm sure. But second half, I mean, Georgia's a much better team than Auburn. I know Auburn's going to fire their coach one way or the other, but don't fire him over this game because you wasn't going to beat them anyway.
They'll fire him over the Ole Miss game next week. 42-10 was the final, and I got to do this. I have to man my word.
What?
This note here, I don't know if y'all can see it. It says Matt is wrong. 10, 8, and 22 at 6:33 a.m.
I was wrong too. I argued with people. Said there's no way they'll beat them about 30.
Signed by your local law officer and the great
30.
Bo Jolly. I had Georgia winning, but I said there's no way. I think they win by
30.
21. 42-10. That was the final lap. Bennett does wind up throwing for 208. No touchdowns.
Again.
Milroe, a second-string quarterback, has passed you for touchdown passing. 22 for 32, one touchdown rushing. He busted off a 64-yard run. And that was the score right there that kind of leaked it on into getting more to be out of hand.
Georgia's having some red zone issues.
This game's 21-14. And you can go back, please, our YouTube watchers, go back over there and watch that show that I did. I did a special about, just about Georgia's offense. Me and you talking about it on the show, I pulled out a clip from that. Yeah, Auburn's got to go to Ole Miss. So
I just think Georgia's problem is it's not scoring in the red zone, and I think it's going to bite them in the rear end at some point. And I'll go on record and say it right now, Mike, I'm sorry. I do not think they will win the championship anymore.
I don't think it's nothing new. I think this has been going on at Georgia offense, and I've talked about this a little bit on a locker room maybe. Mm-hmm. This is what it was last year. It's just that it got hid by one of the best college defenses that we'd seen in a long time. It got hid because nobody could score on them. I mean, Auburn scores 10, but, Auburn afterwards for 165. He was 13 for 38. Mm-hmm. He threw one touchdown, had a lot of turnovers. Tank rushed for 52. Hunter had 20.
I thought Tank had 19.
Had 20. And Ashford had 52.
Oh.
Tank had 20, and then Hunter had 73 receiving. Guys, Robinson had 100 on the ground for Georgia. Edwards 80 with 3 touchdowns. Wide receiver McConkey had about 47 yards. So
good.
I think it's been this way. It's just being.
Mm-hmm. Now I don't know why.
It's being brought to light more because they're needing to rely a little more on their offense. Mm-hmm. And where Alabama got into this was probably about the time Kirby left.
Right.
So they were going to have to score more. And when Jalen and them was starting to come in,
right,
they had to score more because their defense just wasn't quite as great because the defense can cover up. It's like putting putty down the side of a car. Mm-hmm. When you're getting ready to do body work on a car, you can hide it with icing and put it down the side of the car, and you sand it and you hide blemishes. Mm-hmm. Well, that defense is gone.
It's gone.
I don't think the offense is very much different. I mean, they did lose receivers, Pickens.
And, Auburn's had this. They did lose Pickens, and they lost Cook, and they lost
White.
But
and it's worse.
They lost Burton.
And it's worse. So not only was the defense covering
they're gaining a ton of yards, though. A ton. 500 a game.
They wind up rushing it in when they get down there is what's happening. He's throwing it, but they're throwing it for like screens and 10-yard catches, and all that's happening because they're playing doo-doo teams. He's throwing a 10-yard slant, but they're taking it for 30 more yards, right?
But I hear a lot of Georgia people complaining that these last 3 weeks they've just had a struggle scoring in the red zone. And playing against Tennessee.
Well, they don't have a rush game, really. Cook and White's gone.
Yeah. Against Tennessee, you can't have that. You can't.
I don't know about – and that's just what it is.
You can't get inside to the 10-yard line and not score. You got to score touchdowns.
The only thing that's changed is the defense is worse and the offense has lost some of their run game. But see, the defense was so great, they could overpower. So when they laid that defense over the top of the team, well, you couldn't tell the offense was bad. You was kind of looking through bars. Does that make sense?
And they may beat Alabama. They may go to the semifinals. But I'm telling you right now, I'll be shocked if Georgia repeats. And I think I said that at the first of the year. But I heard about all their transfers coming in, and I mean they're good. There's no doubt about that. I don't see a repeat in them. I'll go on record for that.
I agree. I'm gonna bounce this and back to you, Dean. Let's talk about the darn Jayhawks.
Kansas.
Well, you got to talk about this game, please, guys. If you didn't, please go get the highlight. I promise you, I spent 10 minutes watching a replay this morning. It's great. Tell us about stats of the game over there for.
Well, what's his name didn't TCU quarterback? What's his name? Max Dunnigan.
Yep, Dunnigan.
Threw for over 300 yards.
I think he's good,
guys. He's good.
And we got our top 10.
Good.
We're going to do it in a little bit. You may be surprised.
But their comeback, their quarterback was out.
Yes, Daniels went out.
And Matt
hurt his shoulder. They was rubbing his shoulder. But Bean.
Jimmy Bean. No, it wasn't Jimmy. James. It was not Jimmy Bean.
It wasn't Jimmy Dean.
But he came in and did fantastic.
He did.
But I tell you what I saw in this ball game, Matt. And you saw it too. We both saw it. We saw some of the most amazing wide receiver play I've seen in any conference.
Dude, I'm telling you.
How many? I'm talking
there
about.
Was 4 or 5 outstanding catches.
You got to get it past Matt to me, and I got to catch it before that thing.
Yeah.
That happened 4 times, guys.
Yeah, we're talking about dropping it in like, garbage can size buckets.
This happened 4 times in this ball game.
What did he wind up throwing for?
He only ended up throwing for over 2. A little over 2. It wasn't a ridiculous amount.
Daniels had 89 before he left.
Right, before he left.
He had 262, 4 touchdowns and a pick.
But I thought he did great.
I thought he had a great Skinner. The one that looks, he kind of favors Milk. If y'all know Cedar Bluff people, it's Hurley Henderson. It's Q's boy. He favors him.
Yeah.
Their hair's kind of the same. The skin color's the same. He's like a big version of Milk.
Yeah, yeah.
Skinner had 2 touchdowns for Kansas. Hey, look.
Hey, they're for real.
Dean, 540 total, 351 passing, 189 rushing. Kansas has got a football team.
They have got a good football
They
team.
have a football team.
I mean,
without that quarterback.
Some of these, I think they'll be all right with Bean.
No. You look at the rest of their schedule.
Oh, is it
Yeah,
right?
it's fixing to get bad.
Oh.
It's like Oklahoma State and
Texas.
Baylor. Yes,
Oh,
I think they may have. They may have
Maybe
Texas
Daniels
next
is
week.
going to be back. Tech's got a good football team.
TCU Dunnigan, 23 for 33. Kids from Iowa.
No, he's a good player.
6'2", 210.
He can run the ball too.
Yes. Miller had 88 running. Dunnigan rushed for 55. And then Johnson had 206 yards receiving.
Wow.
Perry and Foster was your big tacklers. They had 452 total yards. 308 passing, 144 rushing.
So we had 1,000 yards in the TCU Kansas game.
Nobody ever guessed that. Guys, these were undefeated teams.
38-31. Yeah, TCU's in the. I guess we can't reveal that.
They're
getting close to the top
I shared
10.
the AP poll. I think they're 13. I think they're 13.
They're fixing to be in the top 10.
Guys, Kansas has got they really have a football team. I didn't believe it until I watched this game. I was like, well, they're just winning. They're playing okie doke. TCU's good.
TCU's good, and you're absolutely right, Matt. I thought, well, this is it. We're going to find out that Kansas is not for real. And we found out
Kansas is good. And they lost 38-31, and we were like.
With their quarterback out.
Here's my good, bad, and ugly.
No.
Good, bad, and ugly. Good was TCU, Kansas.
That was great.
The bad is 31-10. Sounds like a score.
I got the stats on it, but that was
Michigan, Indiana. Dean hit us with some of that.
Well, they had the numbers. Michigan did 304 passing from McCarthy. He did throw a pick. Corum, Heisman Trophy candidate Blake Corum, had 124 yards. But I can tell you, this game was 17-10 going into the 4th.
Bad for Michigan.
And Indiana's not a great football team.
They're
not. They're average at best.
222 total yards, guys. Indiana rushed for 20 yards.
No. Had 222 total.
Come on, man. Yeah.
20 yards.
And Lucas was 45 with that. Bazelka, 200 yards. So they're not good.
And Michigan had the yards. So
Yeah.
Turnovers hurt Michigan. They
470
fumbled
total.
once. Yeah, he threw an interception. McCarthy is a good quarterback. I think he's going to be their man now.
That was the bad.
All right,
And
what was the good?
The good was TCU, Kansas.
Oh, what was the
bad
ugly?
was Michigan, and the ugly was Bama and A&M. Todd, please tell me about this game, and I'll give you some analogies of why these things are going on.
All right, so let's just do the breakdowns on the stats right now. Only 317 yards for Texas A&M, which I told somebody last night. I think Jonathan McGath was talking about that's too much, and I agree. Alabama usually doesn't give out that much, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot of yards. They held a chain in check. Hayes King played great, and Alabama had 400 yards. Gibbs 154 rushing. Milroe 83 rush, 111 pass. But that's the stat that killed them. One of the stats that killed them. They had two stats kill them. 111 yards passing. Matt, that's not going to cut it. And you know the main stat that's going to kill them.
Turnovers.
4 turnovers.
A&M never led this game.
4 turnovers.
They
That's the
tied
only
it.
reason they were in it.
They tied it.
Mm-hmm.
They tie the game there to kind of their last real score, I guess, sort of. With a trick play, throw back across the field. Jimbo knew that he was outgassed. He's outmanned.
I want to check their final numbers. Go ahead.
These guys have a good football team. A&M's not terrible. They're really young. But A&M scored off of the first 2 turnovers for Bama.
Right.
Guys, we missed 2 field goals and turned the ball over 4 times. Yes, and the reason why Bama give it away, they did give it away. There's no reason they should have won that game.
No.
They gift wrapped it perfectly and beautiful, put a bow right on top and a big old sweet kiss to said, here's the ball 4 times and we're going to miss 2 field goals. That's 20 points. They spotted A&M 20 points. So that's why I would say something like, hey. They gift wrapped it and they just almost give it to them because it's like, okay, who wants to spot any football team 20 points? Here's 20. Good luck on the day. And y'all beat us last year. And all during the offseason, the coaches had crap to say about each other. So now the kids are all kind of riled up. So this game had much more hype built into it than what anybody really wants to talk about.
Right.
Honestly. But A&M coming there, you can't let these freshman linemen come in there and whoop your tail if you're Alabama.
Right.
You can't do that. It's
Right.
just it's impossible to do.
Well,
The field goal missing
the field
blows
goal
me
missing,
away.
the turnovers. I'm going to say this. I'm not. You know me. I'm not a confrontationist. But so what if it makes you mad? They shouldn't have won. I don't care if you get mad or not.
Well, yeah, because they don't change my life.
Face reality. 2 missed field goals. Those are like turnovers.
Yeah,
Do you not realize that Alabama had 6 turnovers?
yeah,
Those are turnovers.
yeah.
They're not counted as turnovers, but
Right,
they are.
because they give the ball right back to them. It's a turnover on downs.
They had 6 turnovers. No, they should not have won. They dominated this game. If it hadn't been for the turnovers,
Yeah.
it would have been. And I don't care if somebody gets mad. What are you watching?
Yeah, well, Vegas had it picked right. Without the turnovers, if you play a normal football game, Alabama wins this game 36-16,
Yes.
36,
Yes.
something like
Without the turnovers, the 2 made field goals. That's 30-20.
Yeah.
Let's take away 1 turnover. It's still 37-20.
that. Yeah, Alabama spotted them 20 points. I'm still.
I mean, look, Matt, the yards. King was 25 for 46. That's only a little over 50%. A chain, the fastest back in the country. Less than 4 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's an All-American runner. In case you don't, if you just tune in and watch Alabama for 3 or 4 hours on a Saturday, then you probably don't know a lot about football. If you don't watch any other games,
right,
then you probably don't know a lot.
Well, the only stat I see that jumps out at me that Alabama didn't do well in, besides the turnovers, was passing. He didn't throw for a lot of yards, but they rushed for 288. So 110% without a doubt. Let's quit calling it 4 turnovers. It was 6. And I'll give Rashard credit. He's made everything he's ever kicked at Alabama till last night. I don't know what happened. They had 6 turnovers.
Let's talk about that last play that Johnny Manziel seemed to have a problem with Jimbo about, and Jimbo
I thought it was weird.
Jimbo probably could tell him to go jump in the water because Johnny Manziel can't even take care of his own life. Why does he need to be questioning the head coach of a football team? If he thinks he can do it, Johnny, quit drinking. Hope you're sober. That's great, man. Sober October. Then go find you a job coaching somewhere and work your way up to the ranks.
I think he'd be a good coach.
Yeah, hit it, man. Go get it.
Get into it, but I have to agree with Johnny.
I do too.
But Coach Short, who I respect
absolutely,
admirably, I'm very admirable of him, admire him. said it was not a bad play. And Jimbo kind of it's a pylon play. You run to the pylon.
But he come back out of the end zone.
He come back out of the end zone, and
if he catches it, it's down at the
two,
maybe one or two. Well, with no time on the clock.
It had to have been run.
Why didn't they run a fade?
I don't know.
Throw a little timing right over in the corner.
I know they throw. I don't understand.
Or run a trick play, run a double reverse, or I don't know. Like here's the thing. A&M had nothing to lose.
No.
0.
So what if they intercepted?
So what if they pick it off and take it back? Alabama's supposed to beat them 50-0. I'm just kidding, but
they were supposed to beat them by half that.
23 and a half, 24, 3 touchdowns. So
I'm very confused by it.
I think it was an odd play call.
What did Manziel say?
I didn't even pay attention to it. He's the kind of person. Those kind of people, you don't argue with them because they don't. You're not going to win an argument. With some people in general, especially know-it-alls like him.
The only thing I don't like about it, and as an Alabama fan, you get a play like that at the end, and you get people that aren't for Alabama. It's almost like
they're excited about it.
Yeah, but that's kind of a setup, isn't it? Did they just throw the ball game? He didn't. You mean they had a 4th and 2, a 2nd and 2 with 3 seconds left, and he threw an out route to the curl route to the 1 yard line? I mean, it looked like there was no effort to score. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not what happened. You know that's not.
Well, there's conspiracies that think that Saban and them just built up all this argument just to sell tickets to the game.
And Saban called down there at the end. I mean, there could be conspiracy. Saban told them at the end, don't put this in right here. I know that's out there.
Yeah, but there's people that think that the argument this summer was just to build climactic to sell tickets.
But I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, and I'm not even excited that they won. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah, it's bad play.
They didn't even try.
Well, here's another problem we got.
Okay.
Saban screamed into his headset for 2 weeks, run the ball. Mm-hmm. Why are we still throwing the ball on 3rd and 2?
They did run it more.
Yeah, and successfully. Mm-hmm. But on situations it's 3rd and 2, they're throwing the ball again.
Yeah, he still did it.
Yes. Still did it.
I know they
like we ran the ball. That last score, we run the ball all the way down the field. Bang, boom, 10, 9, 20, 14, 8, 7, 6, 4, 10. We get down there, and what does he do? He throws the ball.
He throws it. I don't know. He's just addicted to throwing, Matt. He's just
there's no
51
order.
Run plays to 19 this week.
Yeah, there was no order in it's not that the ratio is right, but see that misrepresents of what I'm saying.
It does.
But
you
have
look at that and you say, "No, we run more. Shut up. What are you talking about?"
Watch the game and you can see on situations like a 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 2.
Yeah.
We're trying to throw the ball on,
and you're averaging 5 and 6 yards.
You're getting 6 yards a carry. It's like, I mean, we'll use 5 for example because they run the ball a lot. And it's like Coach Benefield just running all the way down there and get down to 10. I think I'll just throw it right now. He's not going to do that. No. He's going to do what got him there.
Right.
Jeez, right. Guys, come on, Coach O'Brien. Now, Goldberg to stop A&M. Mm-hmm. I thought it was pretty good effort, but my player of the game is King.
Oh, yeah.
The losing, Matt, what are you, some kind of idiot?
Well, he was under so much pressure.
Why would you give the player of the game to the losing quarterback? Uh-huh. Guys, was his stats great? Go over there, rewatch the highlight game. You need to watch the whole game probably because
he was under a lot of pressure.
Every snap.
I'm not talking about mental pressure.
Every snap. He was getting pushed on the ground or somebody would bump into him or he was slammed down. Every play, that kid, I told you, got up and fought. I like that.
He got hit hard.
I like it. Yeah. What a tough guy.
And I will say this, that could have been some of the reason that last play occurred.
Let's see, Coach Short, he's got some. The receiver should have ran 2 yards deeper. Exactly right. Okay. That's what we're thinking.
So that's what it is. It's just, go deep
no, I mean, he runs up to the block right inside the goal line and turn and comes out. What is that going to do? He run the wrong route. What's Mr. Marky Mark? That's not really what you're talking about, but it says something about the team that it's having a bad game, killing themselves, but still find a way to win. It is. It is a good example.
What's that? What did he say again? I'm sorry.
Just a way to when you're having a bad game, but you still find a way.
Oh yeah, that's a good team.
Yeah, it is, and
that's a mark of a good team.
And it was big of Bryce to encourage him constantly. Through the good and through the bad, he'd tell him, hey, man, get your head up. We give that game away. There was reasons, 6 turnovers.
Yeah, basically.
So you spotted A&M 20 points, and you still found a way to win it. It was at home with a guy that's never started a college football game. And he threw 3 touchdowns, which ties the record. Most people don't know.
For a freshman.
Here's a little tidbit. The last other guy that I know that started his first start at Alabama that threw 3 touchdowns was Joe Namath.
Who?
So that's good company to have. So our point is, what we're aggravated about is Bama almost give the darn game away, and we're not real happy of how they're playing right now. And the polls are not either. They've moved them down 2 spots from 1 to 3. And that's what we're saying. No, we're not just fans of that team. We watch a lot of games, and we have been for a long time. If they want to win, don't call them Alabama, call them Shabaka State. If Shabaka State played that game and won 24-20 with the players that Shabaka College has.
Chewbacca College.
So Chewbacca, if they want to win, they better get their act together, because next week they're going to make a trip. And it's been since I was 12, 1989, when these teams were both undefeated, ranked for the way they are, sort of, and going to match up, East and West. This is big. And Tennessee fans, we watch it on here. We see it on here. You can see it on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, find us up there. Look top of your screen at Big Matt 1977. You find us, the Matt Todd Show. They're jumping over there. Twitter's hopping.
Oh gosh, it's gonna be a
Tennessee this week.
It's gonna be a tough environment.
It's Tennessee hate week, and it's Alabama hate week. So if you're looking for a good Alabama football game to be included in, because that's the only games that a lot of people just watch Alabama games. We're critiquing how they're playing because that's what we do. We're supposed to break down the fine tunes of why they did this and why they did. We're not just random fans saying, well, they won, a win's a win. Absolutely. And we'll take it as fans, but as people that do this.
That's not going to hold up in the end.
As a side hustle, this is what we do. We got a lot of stuff here. I've spent hours, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, of doing this, taking notes, watching games. I had 2 games going yesterday, 3 at one time. Chewbacca College, just scratched the name Alabama off the list. They better get ready this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tennessee's for real. Let's talk about that game. Wow. That hurry-up offense. It's
Tennessee,
pretty deadly, isn't it?
LSU. We expected them to go down there and win. I don't think it was not an upset. I think what was an upset was it got out of hand.
It did.
A little worse than what we thought it would.
Yeah, I didn't think it would. Got out of hand quick.
Hooker winds up throwing for 240 yards, those 2 touchdowns.
He's my Heisman Trophy candidate.
Yeah, right, and I got some list here, some quarterbacks you want to talk about. That's what it is. The Vols just go down in the swamp and just took care of business. And Coach Kelly, just kind of said, well, it was what it was, and we're going to kind of, hang on, and we're going to do the best we can. And they have on LSU next week. We're going to go. Y'all don't leave yet, because we're fixing to go through the games where we was wrong and where we was right, and we're going to do next week's picks.
Okay.
And we're going to give our top 10. Now,
I'm making a change to mine.
Oh, I done got them on here. I can't change it.
Okay.
I lock them in.
Well, I'll say what I think. For right now. Mine's for right now.
Here's the game. We're all let down from this. Dean's got more in this game. But I just want to say, mentally, Coach Pittman,
oh, man.
we're with you. We like him. He was our Coach of the Year last year. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Seemed like the loss to Bama just crushed their spirit. Well, we lost to Alabama, so we're done this year.
I think the A&M loss crushed their spirit.
Something's happened. 40-17.
40-17.
The Hogs take a L. Dean, tell us more about this game. And tell me something make me feel good.
Well, Jefferson didn't play. But Hornsby filled in for him and had 348 yards of offense. And Poole and Sanders had 29 tackles, Matt. Sanders had 16. Poole had 14.
That's
30 tackles. Yeah.
That's pretty good numbers.
Mississippi State, 568 yards. Arkansas, 483. Rocket Sanders again had 86. Rogers threw for 395. You man, Will Rogers 395. It's just they can't stop him. They cannot stop him.
Yeah, he was my highlight player last week.
Well, when your two inside linebackers have to make 30 tackles, you're on the field a lot.
Yeah. He's money, dude. Mississippi State is. I'm telling you. I think in the AP, I've got the AP.
They're for real.
Written down right here. Mississippi State Dean's at 16.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad ranking. I'd probably have them at 15, but
I was wrong about Leach.
Kentucky's went to 20 down to 22.
Yeah,
but
Kentucky. Well,
that's another team.
Was out too.
Yeah.
Levis didn't play. I thought that score was shocking until I found that out.
So what's up with the Hogs? What?
I think it's because
they just got to get their quarterback back.
Yeah, but they're giving up a lot of yards, Matt. I mean, 555 to Alabama, 568 to Mississippi State. I mean, 560. I mean, that's 1,100 yards in 3 weeks. In 2 weeks.
It's not surprising, but against those two teams, that's not surprising, is it?
That's a lot of yards.
I mean, but is it though? Against them. I mean, it's Bryce Young, and then Rogers is he's leading the country in the most 300-yard passing games. He has more 300-yard passing games than anybody.
Well, I think a lot of it's Jefferson being out too,
and
not being 100%. Jefferson's not 100%.
That gives their other team more time with the ball.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're gaining yards. They're just not stopping people. They're not slowing them down.
And if the other team is going, down the field in a few plays, the defense out there, well. Then when the Arkansas defense comes out, people are just scoring on them.
Yeah, 1,123 yards, Matt, and 89 points in 2 weeks.
If the offense is not clicking and checking, if they're going just get a first down or two, well, the defense is we're back out there again.
Right.
That's the problem.
And he's trying to run the ball. They're running the ball a lot. They're gaining yards.
He was methodical against Bama on that run.
Oh, yeah. They gained 377 against that. They're averaging 430 yards a game in the last 2 weeks, and they're 2-0 and hadn't even come close to winning. That's how bad the defense, whatever's going on with the defense, that's how bad it is.
Have you noticed the quarterback? We've talked about in a few games here now, guys, fans. Inside linebacker made,
What did he say, 30 tackles?
Yeah, 30 tackles in one game. Yeah, both of them together did.
Yeah. Poole and Sanders, 30 tackles, which is amazing. But that shows you that they had to be out there. Can you imagine how tired they were?
He learned to hate Tennessee when he played at Maryville.
That's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you can't like them, though. You can.
Yeah. They must have. Oh, he probably heard about them all the time.
Yeah. You never get no love.
Oh, gosh. He was there when Manning was there, too.
Yeah.
And T. Martin. So, yeah, I could see. I mean, that's all he heard was how great Tennessee was.
Yeah.
Because Tennessee was a lot better than Bama then.
Yeah, no, tackles for a game at Coosa Christian, Mark. Coosa Christian went to Gatlinburg Pittman, and Cleet had 20. 21, actually, but solo.
Oh, most I've ever heard of is 33. A guy from Jack State made 33.
So, Cleet to make 20 tackles.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're playing the school of the deaf. I mean,
that's good. And 20 tackles is good if you're playing Brent Hutchins' flag league over there.
It is.
I mean, 20 hits in a ball game?
Some of that quarterback's out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh, there's a tough
Levis is out. The Vanderbilt quarterback, I thought Wright was the guy, and then he's not. Now he's just in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure Vandy had an adequate game. They played Ole Miss.
Yeah, played them all right till the fourth.
Played them okay. 52-28. Dart threw for 450 yards.
Golly.
52-28, though. Guys, this ain't the same Vandy.
No, they're a little better.
That's better.
They're better.
Levis is out. Johnson, A&M out. We talked about that.
Out for the year.
Hooker, 242, went through that. Ohio State, we fixed to get 361. 6 touchdowns for Stroud, Ohio State.
Wow.
Williams at USC, 188 with 2 touchdowns. Young is out. Georgia quarterback Bennett, he's very choppy. He's up and down. He had 208 yards today. He's
not throwing picks, but he's not throwing touchdowns either.
It's because he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same quarterback. They're like, we're losing because he's – no, it's not. They're winning games because their defense could cover that up.
Mm-hmm.
And it can't quite cover it up now. Now this year people are seeing it. They're going, hey, wait a minute. It was the same way, guys, last year. It was the same thing. You just hit it because you had a big blanket of defense. Now you just got a little bitty baby.
But he is their best quarterback.
Yeah, because the other one left and went to West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And the man is back. Dean, tell us about the Red River rivalry. Quinn Ewers, 289, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 17 rushings.
You know how many yards?
49 to nothing.
Oklahoma had less than 200 yards, man.
For the day?
Yes.
No. Rushing?
Total. Oh, some bad problems going on in Oklahoma.
Tell me more about that game.
Well, it was just a blowout. Gabriel was out.
Yes, he took
So that
concussion
didn't help
protocol,
matter.
which is safe.
I mean, they threw for about 50 yards, man. Robinson had 130. Ewers had 289.
Guys,
That's only his third game. It was just awful.
they were 15 minutes apart, Mark says, and no other school meant anything to UT fans. They wouldn't support the less. They wouldn't support the smaller schools in the area.
Oh, just UT. Huh?
Well, like you said, though, I mean, you're there when Peyton Manning was there. I mean,
Yeah, Peyton Manning.
T. Martin. That's the year they won the national championship. 98.
98.
BCS.
And before that, you had Manning for 4 years,
Yeah.
and they were just good through there. I liked watching them play.
Yeah.
This team reminds me of a lot of those teams.
And it is going to be that way. And if they carry that pole down the street Saturday, guys,
God, that place is going to be raucous.
I
Is
thought
that
about-
a word? That's a word. Yeah, raucous.
I would like to be up there just to see,
Oh, gosh.
like to just to tailgate, not even go in the game.
Just go hang out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that was not a bad idea.
man, that would be awesome.
What are you doing? Going to Knoxville? Y'all going to the game? No. We're just going to hang out outside the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, you could go to one of the restaurants down there in town, just eat, grab a cheeseburger and a cold drink,
We're going to do
and
that.
watch it on
year.
TV.
Not this year, but one year we're going to do
Yeah,
that.
when you get done coaching, where you're more free,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna do that for real.
Yeah. I mean, that's. And the times I go through Knoxville all the time, and I've never been by Neyland Stadium. We're going up through there tomorrow. I may see if Mom wants to run by Neyland Stadium.
Just kind of drive around by it.
Well, we can't. Yeah. Well, you won't go there when the game's going on.
So that's the check marks. Our Heisman kind of watch quarterback list. I guess Williams and
I still got Sanders, Hooker.
Stroud, Hooker, and Williams, which is Tennessee, Ohio State, USC.
Stroud's doing pretty good.
Now,
3 cents.
here's the thing. Here's a guy that just wait till this year's kid gets rolling.
Oh man, he's good.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, you better keep your eyes open
He
out there.
is not. I think he's exactly what they said he was.
Oh yeah,
I thought
Oklahoma.
there was too much hype, but
No, Ewers is
apparently
great.
there's not.
Oklahoma played like 4 or 5 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and threw for 55 yards.
When I rolled
think.
through the thing and it was like all them names, I was like, wait a minute, what
Oh,
is
yeah,
that?
they
So I looked back and I was like, so that's the ones that played?
Mm-hmm.
Bevel, Turk, Gray, and some guy. So
Oh,
they
yeah.
played every quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
Now here's an interesting question. We'll post this out here to the audience. Guys, what do y'all think about, does Oklahoma boosters and bunch now see and think, maybe we should have got Heifel? Did we really mess up getting Venables? He's a defense guy, but is he really a good coach? Can he recruit? Because obviously Heifel can. And look what
doing good.
look what he's done at Tennessee. Now, some people that don't cover it a lot are saying, Matt, why would you say the Tennessee coach? Why would the Oklahoma boosters be upset about that? Well, because he was a Heisman finalist. He was a quarterback at Oklahoma.
Yeah, on their national
2000
championship team, I think.
1, 2, or 3, right in there.
I think it's 2000. Yeah.
That may be a question. Do you think that is a question?
Well, possibly.
I mean,
but
I sure-
Riley was still there then.
They're sitting around the table, and I'm just would about bet that somebody would say, man,
But it's almost like you don't say, look,
Dang,
gosh,
Larry.
you be ready if Lincoln Riley ever leaves.
dang, Larry, we should have. Why didn't we get him? Bert, Ron, the other guy across the table, cigar guy.
Well, they could have got him from Tennessee.
I don't know. Why did we not get him? Why didn't we not go promote? Why did we not go? And they may have called him. I don't know.
They could have. He just said, no.
No, I'm good right here. But he left out of there. Remember, there was some bad feelings when they kind of left out of there. So I think that has something to do with it. But that's an interesting question.
Yeah, he wouldn't be. He's done great. He's done great at Tennessee. I've never heard a Tennessee fan say anything negative about him. And the only thing I've heard other people say negative about him is he's overweight. Which, I mean, that's silly. We're all overweight.
Sir, yeah, me especially.
I mean, is that the best you got? You're overweight,
fat,
fatty,
fat. Well, that don't bother me, bro. I see myself every day.
I used to say that Fulmer. Fat Phil.
Yeah, I can lose weight, but you're ugly, and you'll always be ugly. So, I mean, that's just...
Fat Phil was great, or what they called him. I never called him Fat Phil.
I did. I'm fat. I can call somebody fat. Dean, let's hit them with the top 10.
All right.
Let's talk about our top 10. Now, the AP top 10, before we do theirs, and listen, now y'all don't believe us, and I'm sure you do. Y'all think we're pretty honest guys. Okay, we're back there. We did our top 10 before the AP top 10.
Mm-hmm.
So these are not based off the AP. And this is yours. We'll put it up there first.
Okay. I know I said I didn't think Georgia would win it, but this is as of right now, guys.
How they played.
I still do not think Georgia will win it. But I got them first, Ohio State 2, Bama 3. I kind of toss a coin on that one. I think that could go either way. Still got Michigan 4. Oklahoma State, I'm sticking with them at 5. Clemson, USC. USC has not been playing good, Matt. They've gone downhill. Not a lot, but a little bit. 8, Tennessee. 9, Ole Miss. I told Logan I would move Tennessee into the top 10, and I did.
Yeah, they're definitely AP. They're 6.
Yes,
AP.
they got them at 6. 9, Ole Miss, and 10, Penn State. I guess outside looking in would be TCU, UCLA.
Yeah, I would have on mine.
North Carolina State.
I'm going to have outside looking in probably Oregon and Utah. Which they're going to lock up. I got some stuff about that we'll talk about. My list, I like Ohio State 1. They're slamming everybody like they're supposed to on these cupcake doo-doo teams. Georgia, they're getting it back together. I guess the win to pull away in the last half against Auburn won them some time. Ugalet's playing good. Clemson's defense has been better. I like them in there.
They're good.
They're taking care of business. Alabama stumbling and bumbling. I'm not moving them out. They'll be 4 or 3 for the rest of the year unless they beat Tennessee. No, so if they beat Tennessee even close at home, I'll have to see how these number 1 and 2 does.
I kind of got Alabama at 3 if Milroe's the quarterback. If Young comes back, I would shift them to 2. That's kind of how I look
I got to see how they play this weekend. Now, of course, if they lose to Tennessee this weekend, I'm going to put them probably at 5. I won't move them back in the I don't think I'm moving them back in the top. How can I put them in the top 4 if you lost to the East?
Right.
Now, they could still win the West and play for the West title and may repeat to play Tennessee a second time if Tennessee beats Georgia. And I got USC at 5. I like how they're playing right now. Williams is smoke, man. He's just
he's good.
He's playing great. They got good receivers. They got a good line.
Yeah, good running back from Oregon.
2 good receivers, Williams and
they got Williams and Addison. Yeah, Mario Williams is good now.
And the question is, and why I put USC at 5. I think USC probably could beat any of those teams under them.
Possibly. Yes, I could agree with that.
On the neutral
I've got
side.
them a little lower, but
on the neutral side. That's why I got Bama at 4. I think Bama could beat the teams under them. I got Tennessee at 6. I mean, like how they're playing. The AP actually had them at 6 too.
Right.
We don't look at the AP before we do ours.
No, we didn't have no idea.
Oklahoma State, they're playing good. They got some games coming up. We're fixing to get into that. Michigan at 8, khaki pants. I'm tired of talking about them. I'm not moving them. I'm fixing to move them out of the top 10.
I still got them in the 4, but I'm seriously thinking about. I just don't know. If
it's just how they played Indiana. I mean, you can't play close to Indiana. Ole Miss at 9. They're hanging around. They won the game. They played Vandy kind of close, but they won it pulling away, scoring over 50. It is what it is. New to the list.
Horned Frogs.
TCU. I like TCU. I think the Dunham kid, he's a good quarterback. And I know you're probably laughing and you're thinking, well, they played, Kansas. Guys, Kansas was they were undefeated. Unless you've watched Kansas, don't knock them until you watch this team. TCU beat a good Kansas. Now, I'm not saying that they could roll out here and blow up Bama or Georgia. I don't know. Depending on how they got the quarterback, depending if Alabama don't turn the ball over. And depending on what quarterback, still a no touchdown throwing Bennett Guys, they're not. How is the SEC teams going to beat these big teams and their quarterback can't even throw a touchdown?
Nah, I don't.
And Alabama don't even have a quarterback.
Right. And I mean, Alabama, Young's got to come back for them to make a run at it. That's just my personal opinion, which I think he will be.
Yeah. Georgia, I think they just didn't play them this weekend because A&M is so bad. And what, Matt? What? Idiot. They only lost before. A&M's garbage. Bama spotted them 20 points because of 6 turnovers.
Yeah, and still won.
With a bunch of freshmen.
And the reason we're saying 6 is because of the 2 missed field goals.
Yeah, because you give them the ball. When they miss the field goal, you know where the ball goes? They don't spot it down there at the 1. They give them the ball back right there where he kicked it from.
Mm-hmm. I thought, did they move it to the 20? Somebody said they moved it to the 20. Is that right, Coach?
I hadn't heard that.
In high school, to be honest with you, you don't see a lot of missed field goals.
Yeah,
but you don't. He's right. You don't get it at the 1.
Yes, no. This is a turnover. They get the ball back.
It's a wasted.
If you make the field goal, you get to kick to them. But they didn't. They missed 2.
Yeah, it's the same as a turnover.
AP top, Georgia, Ohio State, Bama, Clemson. So they like Georgia playing Clemson, Ohio State playing Bama. If that game went down this weekend, I like Ohio State, and Clemson and Georgia would be probably be a pick 'em for me, honestly. If that's how it went down right now. Michigan at 5, they like khaki pants. Tennessee Vols at 6, USC at 7, Okie State at 8, Ole Miss at 9, and Penn State round out the top 10. I had Penn State at my 10 last week, but I'd probably have them at 11 and then have Oregon. I almost put Oregon at 10.
Yeah,
I had it typed in there,
great.
And I had to race it out.
Have you seen his stats?
Yeah.
He's got nearly 2,000 yards.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Oh yeah, Pitt, ACC team Pitt. Abaconda, 6 touchdowns, 360 yards, breaks Tony Dorsett's record. They beat Virginia Tech 45-29. I had to say something about that. A-B-A-I-K-A-N. Yeah.
Oh, I was going to tell you that Smith, Jigba, he's just week to week.
I know. I did read something today that said they're just, okay, next week you'll play. And the next week comes, they say, well, it's going to be next week.
Well, they've got 2 receivers doing great.
But their record that I've seen,
they need him back.
We're fixing to do our next week's stuff.
Okay.
Are
they not needing him yet?
No, they're off this week.
Well, they're going to be tough if they get him back with Bouquet and
so is
Marvin Harrison.
Oregon and Ohio State, I think, they're playing bye. But when they come back,
college team too.
They're pretty good. They even got a pro team.
God.
What about that?
All levels. Hey, there we go.
Come
on, Lamar, break it.
0-0.
He's on the fantasy team.
So, yes, Utah and UCLA, guys, what a big, huge win. Pac-12 football, it's not been great. I think we're excited about Pac-12 football because it just hadn't been really good.
And it is this year.
Yes, it's been a real 32-42.
Wow.
UCLA takes the win. Thompson Robinson for 318 for 23, 4 touchdowns and 1 pick. Running back, Charbonnet, 200 yards, 1 touchdown.
He's played for Michigan. That's what I heard. UCLA's quarterback's good.
Yeah.
He's very good.
UCLA is they're stinking around. They're going like Miss Todd. Look, I'm fixing to tell you about their next game. There's some good games going down. It's because they're so close in competition. They're good games. Rising was 23 for 32, 287. Thompson had 91. Rising rushed for 60. Now Ohio did beat Michigan State 49-20. And like we said earlier, Stroud passed for like 600 yards.
Yeah, I saw where Harrison and Bouquet both had over 100 yards receiving. They got some studs up there. They got some good players.
Just to mention
Notre Dame, wow, big win.
28-20. I'm not a Notre Dame.
BYU was ranked
I just
16.
wanted to mention that game. Nothing real spectacular. Brown run for 90 for BYU. Payne 262 with 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's worth mentioning. Diggs had 19. 93 yards on 17 catches on rushing, and Meyer had over 118 for Notre Dame. Well, you got to mention Notre Dame.
Yeah, they're fixing to probably jump back in the top 25.
Yeah, and
lower top 25.
And by the way, congratulations to James Madison on breaking the top 25.
Really?
Yeah, number 25, James Madison. Let's see here.
Huh. Wow.
Yes, Utah they're my number 12. They're number 4 in the Pac-12. Oregon, they're my number 11. They're number 3 in the Pac-12. Oregon on the 22nd will play UCLA at home Huge game.
Ooh, big.
The Ducks will play Halloween weekend. They'll be at Cal. And then 1st of November, 19th, they'll host. Ducks will host Utah.
Well, the thing about Oregon and Utah when it comes to USC and UCLA is they can play the spoiler on both of those if they don't watch out.
Guys, these are some good games.
Hey, this UCLA USC might be the biggest matchup they've had in a long time.
If you just like football,
Chip Kelly getting it done.
these are good games. Put me on record. Tennessee gives Saban his first and probably only loss to the Vols, 38-34. Wow. I like
All right, we got you there.
Let me see. Let me write it down. Where's our this week's games? Let me write it down. I'm going to write it down right here.
Come on, Lamar.
Logan has 38-34 floppy top.
Can I ask you one question? Logan, answer this.
Let's
Is
see,
Lamar Jackson the best running quarterback ever?
No. That's easy now. Don't use that every word. That sounds like Marcus and him.
You don't think he's better? You don't think
He's great.
You don't think?
How about great? I'll agree to that. I don't say
Okay.
best ever.
So you don't think he's better than Vic?
Oh, God, man. Vic's the best ever. It's just an age thing. Maybe it was because
Yeah, I agree.
he's the greatest to me because I was young, I guess, and impressionable. Does that make sense?
Right.
And I've just never. I mean, he would just take a game. I don't. Lamar does too.
Oh, he does. He does.
I like Randall Cunningham. I'm a man.
Randall Cunningham was great.
Bro, I
Great
mean,
runner.
I think it's because I was so amazed because I was young. If
Yeah.
I watched Randall Cunningham, if I was 30 back then, does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay, he made it.
3-0, Ravens over the
Ravens
Bengals.
over Bengals.
If I was 30 and watched Randall come on the scene, I'd probably be like, well, he's pretty good. But when I was like,
No.
14, I'm like, holy crap, who's this guy for the Eagles? I wanted to pull over in
No,
the
he was
hat.
good. He was good. There's
I
no
like
doubt
him.
about
Lamar's great. Let's see. I think that's kind of all the college stuff. Let's go back through
Oh,
here.
you
We'll
gonna
talk
check
about
our
quarterbacks, and we're gonna do our last week's games, and make sure we cover everything. Marion County stuff, high school, TCU,
that. Wow, Horned Frogs back in the top 10.
khaki pants,
Or close to the top 10.
Utah, UCLA. Yeah, this is next week's games, and we'll
We're
do.
going to pick them before we pick, or we're going to see how
We'll
we
do-
did.
Yeah, and we didn't do great.
No, did we not?
No.
We had 2 weeks. 1 week there where we didn't miss one.
All right, we had Tennessee on LSU.
We won.
We had Texas over Oklahoma.
Did we both have it?
We had Arkansas over Mississippi State.
2-1.
We had Georgia over Auburn.
3-1.
We had Bama over A&M.
4-1.
We had North Carolina State over Florida State.
5-1.
Okie State over Texas Tech.
6-1.
And we had Kentucky over South Carolina.
6-2.
And then Utah dumped the egg against UCLA.
6-3.
So we went up 6-3.
Eh.
So tell me what. Well, we talked about Kentucky. South Carolina, they won the game, but I'm just saying, I want to see how they're going to bounce back. And
I
we're
just
gonna
think they won the game because
South Carolina won because Levis didn't play.
I don't want to take nothing away from them
I
because you
will.
still got to line up and play.
Well, I mean,
Yes, I think that's
Spencer
all.
Rattler's not better than Levis.
No. And they didn't have great stats.
No,
I'm talking about South Carolina.
I know. Yeah, no.
No, they didn't have 500 yards.
And Utah, they just run to a buzzsaw.
Oh, man, UCLA, wow.
I agree, Mark. I like Mill Road, Alabama. Mark,
Yeah, I mean, he can run the ball.
dude, he tied a record with Joe Namath.
Mm-hmm.
First start, 3 touchdowns. That is worth something. We're just critiquing because that's what we do. But people that like Alabama get aggravated with us because we're critiquing. But now we just critiqued Kansas deeply, but nobody's saying nothing about that.
Yeah.
We just critiqued them how they lost the game. But nobody cares about Kansas. But people that are around here,
They take it personal.
they take it personal. Well, this is kind of our job.
We have no idea.
We kind of make
why.
a little bit of, we don't make money like we're retiring from work, but we make a little side scratch, like enough to get gas to go to the game or get a meal on a Friday night. This is what we do. So we're critiquing Alabama, and y'all guys are fans, and we're also fans, but I have to watch with an open eyes and then take in all the information, then lay it out and say, now here's what it is, and here's what it was, and that's what it could be.
That's
Here's
just
what they
part of
shouldn't have
having
done. Here's what they
college
did
podcast.
do. Yes, we do a college podcast.
You can't be a homer.
Nobody else does. We can't just come on here and say, well, Alabama got the win. Next. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Texas, Oklahoma. No. Well, you're a fan. You just can't talk about Alabama. No, we're going to critique them because it's kind of what we do. It is what we do. And if you're a fan of them and it bothers you that we just say, they had no reason to win that game. And that bothers you. I'm sorry you take it personal, but the good Lord's good, and the sun's going to rise the next day. If Alabama loses or wins, or the team falls off the face of the earth,
yeah, unfortunately, it rises.
It's going to come up. So yes, we went 6-3, and don't be surprised. That'd be a big X. Boy, it was close.
They did play them good for a while.
It was close. And that was from last week.
What we got coming up? Let's pick E. Figgins.
Coming right ahead. Big Ten, number 3 and number 1 in the East. Big.
Penn State versus Michigan. Man, I'm going to go out on a big limb here.
Now, see, I thought...
I'm picking Penn State.
Let me make sure here. Because I thought I just said that they were idle.
Let me check mine. See what it says.
Penn State football. Penn State. They do play Michigan on the 15th, Saturday. So I would be correct.
Okay.
All right. Who we got there? Penn State. This is number 1 and number 3 in the Big Ten East.
I'm going to pick Penn State to upset Michigan.
Todd's going with... I'm going to go with khaki pants.
All right.
Why, I don't know. And they play at 11 o'clock on Fox. Auburn at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is number 2 in the West right now.
I do think it'll be not a bad game, but I'm going to have to pick Ole Miss.
Okay, Big 12 action. Number 4 in the Big 12, Kansas at last place, Big 12, Oklahoma.
Well, with the way Oklahoma's playing right now, you'd be about crazy not to take Kansas, wouldn't you? But you got to also think Oklahoma's going to bounce back.
Yeah, Kansas is too.
Well, that's true. I think Kansas got a better team than them.
I'm behind on the show. I got busy taking someone to jail.
He's a cop.
Best running QB was Vic. Me and Logan, we're buddies, ain't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I like Randall Cunningham, but like overall, I watched Vic play college and high and pro. He's amazing.
Oh yeah, he was.
Crazy. And he looked weird because he threw left-handed and made it cool. Let's see. We liked Ole Miss on the last pick. We got Kansas over Oklahoma, 11 o'clock ESPN 2. Auburn plays 11 o'clock on ESPN. Vandy at Georgia. That's just 2:30 on the SEC Network. Be a good game. Our game of the week will be number 1 in the West versus at number 2 in the East. 2:30 CBS.
Well,
1989 is the last time it happened like this.
Is Young playing?
We can only assume.
Okay, then I'm going to pick Bama. But if he ain't playing, no, I'm not picking him. But he's playing, so I guess I'll just go.
But yeah, and we'll just say this here, and I think everybody will go along with it. If Bryce don't play Saturday, I don't see them beating Tennessee.
No.
Period. Next game on 2:30 on ABC, and these next 3 are these 4 are at 2:30. So Georgia hosts Vandy at 2:30 on SEC. 2:30 on CBS is Bama, Tennessee. 2:30 on ABC is Oklahoma State at TCU. Number 3 in the Big 12 and number 2 in the Big 12.
I'm going to stick with my boys, the Cowboys, Oklahoma State.
We're going to split this one. I like the Horned Frogs. Arkansas at BYU.
I think Arkansas is going to bounce back and beat them. You?
No.
You don't?
I think
they're done?
They're in trouble.
Okay.
It's at BYU too. But if anybody can do it, if Jefferson plays and has a good game, we're pulling for them.
I'm not for BYU.
No, I'm not at all. LSU at Florida. Guys, in this game, I ain't even got a dot by it. It's just don't have the...
I don't know.
5 years ago, this may have been the game of the week. Because Bama has been just putting the stuff into Tennessee for the past 20 years.
Right.
So it's not been the game. This has been the game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
LSU at Florida or at LSU. They play at 6 o'clock on ESPN.
I'm going to pick LSU.
I
don't know. That's a tough one.
It's at Florida. I'll just say because they're at home.
Okay.
We'll split on that one. This will give us something. We'll get something figured out here. This will be a good game. Is Levis playing? Another question.
No, I don't know. No, they haven't released it.
So we'll make a check mark here. Without Levis, it's Mississippi State. Do you like?
I'm gonna take Mississippi State.
So I am too. But if Levis plays now, don't be surprised.
This is upset them.
This is going to be. I'm going to put a line beside that. I'm going to put a line beside the Bama game too. We'll put QB question.
Yeah, because I've changed my picks if they play.
Yeah. Stanford at Notre Dame. I just wrote that down because it's a huge historical game.
Notre Dame.
Always big.
Stanford's not as good as usual this year.
And I wrote this game down and put a plus mark by this game, guys. People listening and watching, we thank y'all guys for hanging around with us. Logan says, Brian Kelly looks like he is mean to his puppies.
He's mean to his coaches. Yes, I agree. Did I not say that 5 times yesterday?
Yeah, I think he's kind of known for that.
I mean, every time you get over there, he's raging at somebody.
Yeah. He's having a hard time. But, man, just chill out, Coach Kelly. You got tons of money.
I'm not a fan of
He wants to win. He's competitive. Okay, when he was at Cincinnati, competitive, did a good job, went to Notre Dame.
Which I've never dealt with this, but I'm not a big fan of the guy. If I'm your receivers coach, don't come to me and ask why a guy dropped the ball. I don't know. What did he catch the other one for?
I don't know. He caught one, dropped one. Go ask him why he didn't catch it. I
mean,
guess because he didn't catch it.
And you get into routes, but even that. Okay, he ran that slant route too deep. Well, he didn't the other 4 times, coach. So I don't know what you. I mean,
yeah, he's not a. I don't. He'll figure it out. Then this has got the plus.
He holds them accountable.
Do you like this? This weekend. There's a lot of good games on.
Yeah.
This is a historic game.
Memphis, East Carolina.
Yes, that's always it. Because what it is, it comes on at 6:30. ESPNU, Mississippi State at Kentucky at 6:30. SEC Network. What happens is, we're all juiced up on hot wings and beans from 2:30 to about 4:30. 5 o'clock, and the Bama game goes off. Well, we pass out from till about 6, and we wake up, and there's no games on. I mean, at 6 o'clock, LSU at Florida, I'm going to check in on the score.
Right.
But when you wake up, always, in this time of year, you catch this game on. It's on ESPNU. I like going over there and seeing what's going on. And for years, I remember watching this game. It's always just a good game. It's very even matched. Their athletes are pretty close. So now picking wise, we don't have to pick it because I have no idea.
No, I don't know nothing.
But this game's always a.
He's just saying it's a good
23.
game.
I think it went to like 2 or 3 overtimes a year or two ago.
Memphis, East Carolina.
Big. Now your Saturday night game, if you want after you eat your wings and beans for Bama, Tennessee, be ready that night to get out your big bowl of ice cream and get ready to sit down and cover up. It's gonna be a nice, cool night Saturday night. Probably go outside, get your bonfire started. 7 o'clock, Fox, USC at Utah.
I'm going to pick Utah to upset them.
What?
Penn State and Utah.
Damn it,
going to shake up that.
I'm talking about, Jack. If anybody can.
USC's not been playing great lately. Their offense has.
If anybody can, it'd be them.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't. It would change the Pac-12 around big time.
Oh gosh, it'd mess it up big.
Ohio State's got the big one by. They got Iowa the 22nd at home. Then they got Penn State the 29th. They got Michigan.
Well,
Thanksgiving.
Pretty tough games. I mean, that'll get everybody off them a little bit for their schedule.
Oregon's
They just play their tougher schedule towards the end of the year.
Yeah, Oregon is off this week. So that's our picks, and I'm going to put this. We'll come back next week. It's right here where it always goes, right here.
We're doing pretty good on our picks this year.
Yeah, right here under the old cup. We don't need that one. Toss it. NFL game, Raiders versus Chiefs, Monday Night Football.
We got 3-0 here.
Packers, Giants. Aaron Rodgers, 25-39, 222, 2 touchdowns. Randall Cobb, 100 yards. 14-yard average.
Been playing a long time.
God, he's good. I don't even know. I thought that
thought
it was a misprint.
No, I bet he's been playing 15 years.
Colts take care of business. Old Matty Ice Ryan, 251, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks. Field goal wins the game in overtime against the Broncos of Russ Wilson, 21 for 39. He had 274, but he threw 2 picks.
A lot of picks.
Falcons, Mariota.
Come back. He's down 21-0 in the 4th.
Yeah, 21. They lost 21 to 15.
Third,
Brady put it on them, 21 to 15.
Yeah, he threw for 350 yards.
4.5, 56 yards rushing. About as many yards he had his whole career against Alabama.
No, he's done well everywhere he's ever been, except for the Alabama game. I mean, of course, they were one-dimensional then, so they just work on stopping him.
Titans beat the Redskins 21-17. And my Bills Mafia, baby. Allen throws for 424. 4 touchdowns, rolling on 4 foes. Wide receiver, Gab Dan is 171, 2 touchdowns.
Josh Allen, best player in the league.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Hey, and Pickett, Pittsburgh quarterback.
Yeah, he got his first start today.
327 yards in a professional football game. I think that's pretty good.
327.
That's a good day, man. He earned some of his money. Now they didn't win, and he didn't throw a touchdown. But
some good red zone defense.
Congratulations again to Cam Welch, Player of the Week.
Yes, definitely. And
I'll be out there to probably Tuesday. Be out there Tuesday.
Wait just a second here. There we
go.
Yeah,
Cherokee County. I seen a thing go by. The Lady Warriors volleyball. They won a big tournament. I see Bo every morning nearly, and for breakfast, their girls won a tournament Saturday against a couple of out of county teams.
Well, I saw where Scott Ferris boy and Jesse Hutchins won.
Yeah, they were like
they played in a league, a summer league, and
second, third, or something in that.
One of them won the points, and the other one won the overall scoring champion. Then the points.
Yeah.
So I don't. But congratulations to both of them. I didn't really understand.
Yeah.
I guess they played in 2 different divisions.
One was overall over and under, and the other was for like shot count or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of stuff going on, guys. We've been on here long enough. That's about 2 hours. I knew it was going to be a long show. Gosh, we still got a couple people hanging on watching. We appreciate it.
Do we?
Yep. Logan, Mark, everybody, Coach Short, Bun Man.
Jordy Crane, we got to get that Panther out of the Cornwall furnace up there.
Right there, Teddy Whitmire, Big Matt and the Diamond Dane.
Teddy Whitmire, he's a good guy.
Teddy comes by and always likes to check in on us. They got a good team. Coosa's going to make I'm telling you, y'all, they're going to make a run this playoff.
Yeah.
Because they're healthy. And if some teams are not healthy, if they catch you right now and they got everybody locking and loading, Mostella at tailback and John David throwing the ball, Cleat on defense.
Good receivers, good corners. Yeah. I thought their corners were excellent.
You know, 3 or 4 of the kids, when they come across the line and I stop there in the middle and talk to them, they recognize me. Hey, you're Matt and Todd show. Mm-hmm. They looked at me like, why are you at our game? And I was like, they didn't say that, but you could tell they're like, hey, I know you, you know. I was like, well, I couldn't watch this is my home school here, homecoming, and of course I want to check you guys out, Let me see them play, and they'll be playing Appalachian.
Be a tough game.
Yep, I'm sure Teddy has got it figured out.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, and good luck to Spring Garden too. They have Donahoe at the house over in God's country. GGG. Cherokee County, Etowah, man. It's going to be a sure enough smoke fest over there. Cedar Bluff is playing by. It's terrible.
God, what a game.
The Napster.
Rough game.
Got to the private school of the Decaters.
He's beat open and by this year.
It's going to be a hard game for Nap.
I don't know. After they played open and by,
he's ready.
For anything.
I think they're ready. And I'm telling you guys, he's locked in and put a new offense in. Not a whole new offense, some new plays.
Some wrinkles. Yeah, he's a good play caller.
Man, I'm telling you, fans of Galesville, pay attention Friday. Win or lose, support that guy. And I think they pretty much do.
Yeah.
I don't hear a lot of crap about Nap.
I don't actually hear any.
Because I don't know who you're going to get. It's just who's going to get a coach at a 1A school to come work for free. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, Nap or Allen or Howard, I'm just using them because they're 1A. They could all go to bigger schools and make more money.
Oh, yeah.
Be aware of that. If so, you get to grumbling, I just fired a coach, an idiot. Guys, all 3 of those coaches could go somewhere at a 4, 5, 6, 7A school and make money. But they don't. They stay humble because they stay down in these schools. Brian's locked in that school because his granddaddy. Howard's been locked in at Spring Garden on and off for 20 years nearly. And Allen's built 2 different teams, and he's always wanted. He told us years before at a friend's house at a party, just in regular conversation, boy, if that Cedar Bluff job ever come open, I'd like to have that. It's just a place where I'd like to go, like be at home. I could retire there. They got players. You know, so y'all support your local coaches, win or lose, because it's getting the end of the year, and some of you guys ain't going to make the playoffs. And these are just wrinkles that some teams are just going to have to face. I told a person the other day at a game, there's a hurricane at a school sometimes, and when that storm gets to moving, that whiplash, I'm sorry, but it affects some of you seniors and juniors maybe to have not a great year this year, and it may not be real good next year. But don't look to give horse in the mouth and think there's a better one out there. And if you think you're ready to move on with you and yours to something that's green on the other side, you know what to say. Be careful, because it's not always greener.
No, not always. Sometimes it is.
Usually not.
It's probably 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah. For my experience, it's about 40-60.
60-40, 30,
Like
70-30.
What did Seinfeld say one time? It's more like it's 80-40. And he's like, no, George, it can't be 80. Yeah.
It can't be 80-40.
Well, it just feels that way. It's not quite half, but the other side's a lot. So,
right.
Big game in Center Friday. Yeah, talked to Coach Bunn about that. It's going to be an interesting weekend. That's what will be our game of the week. We'll have some stuff up tomorrow, and I'm going to find out more about our basketball media day. Try to get it held on 1st November. Trying to get us a cool place to do it, and I think everybody's going to be happy with it, and I'm going to feed everybody and stuff. So don't let us hold you up, Dean. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Remember, hit that subscribe button, Dean.
Right,
How do they do that? How hard is it to subscribe to our channel?
You just got to hit the button.
I mean, that's it. Guys.
Hit the button, then put your MasterCard in. No, I'm kidding.
No.
You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
free, man. It's free.
It is. And all these Spotify and Applecast and all that stuff, guys.
And I'll find out a lot about Kentucky. I'm going up this week. I'll talk to students. Of course,
yeah.
I'm going up to state for a week.
Yeah, Dean will be back Thursday or Friday morning.
Yeah.
Thursday night, Friday morning.
Yeah. And spend some time with Mark.
Yeah, he's probably got you a spot already laid out. Banana hammocks. Guys, right there it is. You see what you got to do. Just hit that button up there. At Big Matt 1977 for Twitter. We're on Instagram sharing pics and stuff. So y'all have a great weekend. And next weekend, come out to the game at wherever you're at. Over at Spring Garden's going to be at home. Sand Rock's going to be gone. Cedar Bluff's off. And Gillsville will be at home. And we'll be at Center.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all have a good week. Keep your heads clear and your hearts full of God as always. And we'll see y'all through the week.
Have a good week, everybody.